Hey everybody, turn it. This is your girl Lotus J. We live at the Vibe. It's been a minute, ain't it?
I can't
I
hear
feel
nothing.
like it has.
Yeah, like I feel like
Mhm.
you can't hear me. I can hear.
I can't
Now
hear
can you hear?
I can't hear you
Can't hear you in here.
through the headphones now.
Why y'all can't hear through the
Hey,
headphones?
testing,
I can.
testing.
I can't hear you either.
I thought I
Through
heard
the
me.
headphones.
What's wrong with your
Hey,
headphones?
testing, testing.
I thought
We
I
so
heard me.
bootleg. We gonna wait until after the fact to try this.
I told you.
Now can you hear it?
Don't you do it? Don't you start?
Now can you hear it? I know, but we like to do headphones, so we trying
Oh, I can hear it.
to. Okay, can you hear it? Cause I can.
I can't.
Maybe it's just yours. Get a different pair.
Oh, push it.
I don't know
all the
what.
way in.
I don't know why
Push
you
it all the
can't.
way in.
Can you hear her?
I can. This is just your headphones, I think.
Say something
Check,
again?
check. Here.
Yeah, I can hear him.
That's right.
But you know, he likes to hear it, even though we right here in the room with you.
Check, check, check. Yeah, no, I can't hear that at all. You can hear that though, right?
Give me the other headphone.
Check. Can you hear it out of those? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's these.
It's those? You
Yeah.
want the other ones?
Huh?
You want
It
the
don't matter.
I mean, you know, they don't want everybody to wear headphones.
It don't
She
matter.
wearing them, but she just can't hear nothing.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, y'all. We really just acted like we weren't live on it. But it's cool because y'all know how we roll on the Black of the Berry. We
Right.
just roll on the Black of the Berry. This is not the politically correct show. It's the other one. All right, y'all. So what's popping? What's shaking? How was the weekend?
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
That's what you mean.
I mean, this is what we do every week. What's going on?
You want to go first?
It was Thanksgiving last week. It
Yeah.
was a long week.
You was too busy at the club. You don't know. You
Man,
had
I'm trying.
Thanksgiving-
I mean,
You had Thanksgiving at the
I
club.
prayed.
You didn't pray. You felt
I
like, don't
prayed
you
before
lie.
the show. Oh,
Don't you lie
yeah.
on
Let
the
me lie,
Most
because
High.
I was sure about to lie.
No.
I was sure about to lie about praying to have a good show with you, but I ain't wasting my prayers on that.
Why you think that ain't gonna
That's
happen?
pointless.
I'm tripping. I still can't find it. But okay.
Why? Why is that pointless? What does that mean?
Yeah, exactly. What does that mean?
Just listen to the show. They'll see.
We just gonna roll
We
with
just
it and
gonna
see
roll,
what
and
happens.
everybody goes, it's gonna
Oh,
fall
you
into place.
mean they need to listen to this show?
Yes.
And they'll see?
Yes,
Man, please.
they'll see.
I'm dealing with two.
Well, since Daryl is not answering the question. that
Okay.
you
What's the question?
posed,
You could go first.
To
It don't
us.
matter either one of y'all.
then
I
I'm
don't
gonna
answer the
go
question
ahead.
because she know what I did. So
But everybody else don't.
it's rhetorical.
So you want her to
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
all
You want
right.
me to? You want me to answer the question for you?
No, I do it. I go
Okay.
out solo.
Come on,
Go
so
ahead,
now
solo.
what you do? How was your weekend?
I had a fabulous weekend. I had a fabulous week.
Good.
It was just exhilarating. That's all
Anything
I
you
say.
want to share?
What's exhilarate?
It's just like beyond excitement.
Really? Like almost orgasm?
Yeah.
That's what you acted like.
Yeah.
You almost
Did you-
got there.
Did you jump out of a plane or something? What's up?
Yeah, it's the equivalent to almost the orgasm.
Oh, man.
I mean, I can't believe you got me talking.
But
like
you didn't
this
say
in front
what
of
you
my
did,
nephew. What's
though.
wrong with you?
You didn't say what you did. Ain't nobody listening.
It's one of them. It's one of them things where what
Not all of
happens
the people that
in
we
They
have
ain't logged
watching.
in yet.
Yeah.
stays in Vegas. It's one of them things.
What stays in where you live? South Fort Worth, Como. Where you live? What stays in Fort Worth?
You about to?
Boy,
Who is that?
if we did that, we have to turn the show off. We'd have to turn the show off.
Because I'd just be having a meltdown.
I thought that was somebody else.
No, that was you. That was all you.
I really.
That was her?
Yes. Who do you think that
I thought it
was?
was you.
No. So that's how you was being smart with me? You was being smart with me?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't
Yeah, he
me.
was trying. To,
Love
Was it me?
but that's a. I don't even know. This is a whole different. This is an old show.
I'm going to say something about
Okay.
your glasses after you take them off. No, I'm going to wait till you're done using
They off,
Because
no.
you about to do the church announcement in a minute, right?
Oh Lord.
I could see this.
You see that?
I just can't see the phone.
Tell us about.
I ain't, what, I didn't, I mean, I went to Cali. I went to San Fran
You did.
last week, yeah.
Oh, how was that?
It was wonderful.
What you go there for?
Spending it with my sister
You
every
see,
year.
you see me pulling teeth. This is what you do all the time.
Who, me?
Yep, you pull
Oh.
teeth.
You got to pull a T, just ask me a
Pulling
question.
teeth. Yeah, we are.
I'll answer a question.
I know.
Yeah, I went to Cali. Had a blast.
What you
Beautiful.
do?
San Fran is beautiful.
What you do
Kicked it with my family.
for Thanksgiving? Nice.
Yep.
Did you eat pumpkin pie?
I don't like
I'm
I don't
just
like
curious.
orange food.
Oh, okay.
No sweet potatoes, no pumpkin pie, no. I don't like carrots either.
Hmm. Okay.
So I don't know what that means. And look at all this orange I got.
Do you like the orange in here? You
Yeah,
just
'cause
don't
I
like
ain't
orange
gotta
food.
taste it. Yeah,
Orange drink, orange juice, orange
You don't
soda.
drink orange juice?
orange
Oh,
food.
Oh, but you can handle the
Something
orange.
about that sweet potato and yams and all.
Mm.
Yams are the most healthy
What are yams anyway?
food you can eat. It's a vegetable.
Potato, yeah.
A yam is a vegetable.
Yes, it's a potato.
It's its own separate vegetable, like yam.
Yeah, just like greens
Well-
and cucumbers
Well,
and
yams is a food
What's a
that's
sweet potato
made-
then?
But it's made from sweet potato. Yams,
See,
like candy yams, is a food.
don't you have to make yams?
Yeah, you make them, but
it's
So-
two different. It's two different things.
Lotus, they don't come out the ground as yams. I don't think.
No, but they're made
said they
from
did.
sweet potatoes. No, she didn't.
Yes, she did.
I did. It's two
said-
different. It's two different.
Even when she say
vegetables.
something, you don't believe me
You
when I
said
say she.
yams came out the ground?
Yes.
Just that they grow the same as sweet potatoes do. It's just like having different forms of greens.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong.
I thought-
because I thought yams were made
From
from,
sweet
sweet
potato.
potatoes.
You sure? Facebook.
We can look it up though. No, I'm not sure. I could definitely
Who gonna
be
look it-
wrong.
you
That
gonna look it
happens a
up?
few times. No.
Can somebody out there on Facebook tell us what are yams?
We always have the craziest
What you got to say
questions.
about my glasses?
Nothing.
You just said I'm gonna talk about your
You
glasses.
look
When you
cute
done?
in your
I'm done.
Glasses. You look really cute in your glasses. I don't
Do
know.
I?
Yes, you do. Why you saying it like that? Like I'm lying.
Are you being aggressive? Can you tell me why you're being aggressive? Because I'm not
not.
saying
I
it
can
like
tell you
nothing.
why.
I'm not being aggressive. I'm being honest. You look cute in your
I
glasses.
just said do I. That's a thank you.
And then you said, You don't remember that part?
I said that after you said why you whatever you
Okay,
just
we're
said.
gonna have to run the tape back.
So
How somebody give somebody else a compliment and it's dang near a fight?
It is not. Okay, you know what?
Cat fight.
It is
no,
not.
it ain't.
One gave the other one a compliment and it's
No, it
on.
ain't.
It is not that kind of party.
Okay, so y'all had good weekends.
Players ball.
You did the Sanford. The players ball was off the freaking chain.
I saw the pictures.
Oh my God, that is like one of the best nights I have ever
what?
had
You know
at
what
Brick
we
House.
didn't show enough of?
What?
The women who were dressed
I
like
agree.
players in the place.
I agree.
All them ladies
I
with them
saw like
fly
3
hats,
women.
look Foxy Brown and all
Yeah.
that. We didn't show enough of those.
And we
But
didn't
it was
get-
a lot of women in there. Like
Because I only saw like 3 women, but it looked really nice.
It was. I think only 2 competed.
yeah, only 2.
Yeah,
But
that's what it was
the
because it
room
was more
full.
people that participated, but everybody just
They
didn't
didn't
want
get
to
in the
compete.
contest.
And you looked like a boss. For
Did
real.
I?
Yes. you
I
did.
dressed her.
No, he did not.
I was about to say he did.
But the coat that I was gonna wear, Naya left it in the car, and I couldn't.
Yeah, you'd have turned it out.
I'd
But that
have-
black was good.
I'd have shut it down with that.
I made her tilt her hat, put
Yeah,
some
he
shades
did.
on.
Cause I was just,
She's like, what do I do? How am I supposed to look?
So he tweaked you?
cause I was
Just a
really
little bit.
looking like a church.
She looked like
Mama.
a Morton Salt girl. Before.
And then when I tilted the hat, then I was
I
fly.
said, you got to put these shades on.
Tilt the hat, and he
Matter of
did.
fact, where are my
Yeah, you
shades?
did.
Where are my shades?
Dang, I didn't want you to ask me about them shades.
Those are my best shades.
You
Okay,
did good though. Both
Thank
of y'all did.
it was fly. It was fun.
I just didn't want it to be like a cartoon.
It
Like,
kind of was a little bit with some
you know,
people.
brothers coming like it's Halloween type.
Yeah, I
pimp.
saw somebody with a crown on.
I wanted some real.
I mean, I ain't saying that.
He looked like Burger King, didn't
he,
he?
he wasn't the worst one to me.
No, he wasn't the worst one, but I'm referring to
Because
the
I
crown.
know some players used to dress like that.
He looked like Burger King, though,
had
didn't
on
he?
He had on a crown.
What?
Yeah.
He looked like Burger King. He did. I mean, you know, he ain't watching. And if he
Maybe.
is, he know he looked like Burger King. You
It
know?
was fun. Next year it's gonna be really nice.
I had a blast. But the best part was
What was the best part?
Probably my brother.
the
gonna
player that is international. He wanted everybody to know he was international.
say, Yam is a sweet potato.
That was G's brother. Somebody got to prove it. All right, y'all. Okay, I could be wrong. I'm wrong all the time.
Well, that's how my grandma made yams.
So
Yams.
what else? Anything
Oh,
different?
yams.
Oh, Don Diego is back at the house.
Turn
That's
of the
cool.
Dawn every Sunday.
We turned it a Don.
Yeah, we
So
let
that
DeSoto
was good. And
borrow him for a little while.
and now he back with Nubia, who
Now,
is
who is
such.
that?
She is
Nubia
another
was-
TM. She
Nubia
off the
killed
chain to me. She's another. Don Diego and Nubia are both TMM artists. TMM is Daryl's management group, so he manages talent, mostly R&B, neo soul, little jazz.
So you gonna announce my newest
What?
artist or talent
Who is your
client?
newest talent?
Ooh.
Who?
You.
Nah, cause you don't get me no gigs. You look.
Let's put it into the atmosphere right now.
Okay, put it out there.
Lotus is gonna get some gigs soon,
But he had his first gig.
and got a call for another one. today
You
on
did.
the way over here.
They need
For
to
a
talk to
fashion
your
show.
manager.
Yeah.
You need to refer them to your manager.
Well, they were talking about the venue first. So
Wait a
when
minute,
they
you're
started
his
talking about
manager?
me,
Where the
I said,
venue gonna be at?
that's where we were starting.
Oh,
You're his manager?
yes, and he's my
Oh.
manager.
Oh, y'all manage each other?
Yes,
Keep it
but
in
he's
the
had a
family.
gig. He been managing me for a year, and I ain't never
I
had a
have not
gig.
been managing you for a year.
Keep
You only
it
been
in the
managing me for a
family.
day.
Since today. I started today.
Today? Is that the truth? Baby?
Nope,
And nothing but the truth?
nope,
So help you?
nope.
She can't tell me I'm managing her.
Yes, I can.
There are
All them other
steps-
people do.
There are steps that need to be taken.
He
What's
managing
the
me.
first step?
Background check.
Flunk,
That wasn't taking so long.
flunk.
That's why it's
You-
about
I'm gonna
just-
tell you straight up, I ain't gonna pass it. What's the
Right.
next part?
She a gangster. Them the kind you want, though. Them the kind
Hey,
you want to manage.
you
They
gonna
got
get it
street
done.
cred. You know how they go.
You're gonna get it done. So yeah, but in real honestly though, we do have people that are available for public speaking opportunities. If you need it, hosting events, any one of
All
the three
that.
of us, huh?
all that.
All of that. We do all of that for real. And we are working on a fashion show that will be the end of January. So we will definitely be reaching out to designers, model call, all of that. And of course, it's going to be at Brick House. It'll be, I think the date is going to be January 28th. He ignored me when I texted him asking him. He didn't respond. So I'm just
I'm
going to
still
say,
trying
yeah.
to figure out tomorrow and New Year's Eve.
Well, I got to go past that. I'm
All right.
sorry. It takes planning. It takes work to put
I
that
wake
together.
up, like if I wake up to go to the bathroom or something early in the morning, I got all this stuff I got to read, like what we're going to do next year and in February.
But Lotus is really good at planning events. Like when the date comes for the event, it's a success. It's the bomb. Like
Right.
it's
She
awesome.
sure good at scheduling them.
Wow.
I know she
You
can
kind
schedule
of
them.
he really, he throwing salt at me,
No,
right?
I'm not. I'm saying she can schedule
He really
them.
saying she good at coming up with these ideas and putting it on the calendar. Now, whether or not it's gonna be a success,
then- Yes.
that's so mean.
No, I'm saying she good.
Whose idea was it for the pimps? What was it?
The Players Ball.
The Players Ball. Whose idea was that? Man, you know who
I said
idea
it wasn't
was.
mine. She said it was mine. I said it wasn't.
Okay, whose idea was it?
I thought it was Lotus. She said, no, it was yours.
Guess whose idea?
Then I said, maybe it was
My
Ty
bad.
Diggs' idea.
No, it wasn't time.
I think we were just, me and
Look,
Lotus were
she-
just talking.
we always
And we said, we
bouncing
just didn't have-
ideas.
We were talking about a players ball for Halloween. Then we said, no, let's not do it on Halloween.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
they
that's
may
right.
wanna dress up.
But who brought up the subject? of
I
the
don't know. We
Players
do
Ball?
that all the time, just throwing stuff out there.
So
But we
it's
do a lot of. I mean, I think
it's
we only
gonna
had
be-
maybe 2 events that I feel like just wasn't flopped, which I really thought was gonna
Bless
do
you.
good.
Can you sneeze that way?
I
next
didn't
time?
sneeze. I don't know why people think that's a sneeze. It's a cough.
No, that was
And
something
I'm gonna
different.
cough this way. This
No,
way.
some demons came out of you the first time.
No, it didn't. And it wasn't a sneeze.
Oh, are we gonna start the show or what?
I'm waiting on
Oh,
y'all.
let's go.
Daryl always bullying me.
Okay,
I'm saying, he
so
said nothing. You coughing on me, you
I'm
sneezing
going
on me.
to do our announcements real quick with my glasses on.
Close your eyes.
Do you gonna talk about me after?
No,
Okay.
no, you see, you all got
gonna
it
take a
all
picture.
wrong.
All
You look
right.
cute in your
So we have our weekly shows On Mondays, we have the conversation from 6 to 8. It's just a really nice, wholesome, clean, fun show.
I watch that show
From 6
whenever
to
it
8.
come on.
You do? Yeah.
And it's like when I'm listening to it, it's like I can't do nothing bad. When I'm watching that show. Like at
Right.
home, it's like they can
yes,
see me.
Yes, yes. It is that kind of show.
Well, you need to listen to it all the time.
It's like if I turn this crown vanilla up,
Not during the
watching
conversation.
Me. I can't,
They
it's like
see
they
me.
gonna see me or something.
Tuesdays is the Black and the Berry from 8 to 10. On Wednesdays, we have our live show at Brick House Lounge in Arlington. We have a man's point of view and a woman's point of view, so we kind of go back and forth between the two panels, and then sometimes we bring it together. That's from 8 until 10. Tomorrow's subject is, have black men and women given up on each other? So the
And
women...
I'm protesting that show.
Why?
Because ain't no men on the panel to speak.
Well, y'all need to be in the audience talking. We went through it for a year and a half before we added the ladies on all the topics.
I know we ain't had no topic.
So don't be a chauvinist.
But we
Mary.
always have
How
good
you gonna
topics.
have men and women, and then you got our women. We need to be there to answer the
I
question.
agree.
That's
I
why the
agree.
men
That
being
that
out.
topic should have been when we all were there together.
All of the topics need to be to me, but
Were
oh
we all
well.
together?
Yes, all of
I
them
ain't
are
got no
relevant.
problem with that.
I know, but the ladies said they want their turn because y'all had y'all's.
Oh, okay.
That's what they said. I said
I'm
let's
cool
do
with
it
that.
together, but that's what they said. Anyway, so tomorrow from 8 to 10, y'all come out and get involved in that conversation. And we've had a lot of dialogue on our social media about the different topics that we put out. So those individuals that kind of get involved and watch online, we want y'all to come out and join us. Okay, Thursday we have Sports Rehab from 8:30 till 10. This Thursday we have another show starting, and it is called, I'm so excited, Let's Break Bread. That's our supper club, and we go to different black-owned restaurants at least twice a month, and we'll film it live and bring a group of individuals and just show support. So, you want to say anything about that?
Yeah, it's gonna be off the chain.
So who are
Thursday.
the hosts of the show?
It's not a show.
The
It's
new
a
show.
club.
It's just a live, we're going to film it live for HighVibe, but it's just
Yeah.
the interacting.
Oh, so it's because I saw the invitation for the supper club, so it's just a group of people going. All right, so I thought it was a show, and
It is going to be a
It
show.
will be a show.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we'll probably just mingle a
It's
little
like
bit and
reality.
talk to people. Exactly.
gotcha.
So the first one is at Sankofa Kitchen, and the address is 3333 Camp Wisdom in Dallas, Texas.
Right across from Redbird Mall.
Redbird Mall.
Everybody know about
Southwest
Redbird.
Center, wherever makes you.
Right.
So that's going to be fun. I'm
better.
really looking forward to it. They have really, really good food,
Cowboys game will be on.
healthy food choices.
I can't wait to eat that veggie burger.
Veggie burger is good. And I like their Lentos nachos a lot. Those are good to me.
Oh, I make those at home.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
didn't think people make those.
Very good.
I need to try them out.
So, yep. So, it's going to be at Sankofa Kitchen. This is our first one. And then our Saturday show is Adventures of the Fat Girls, and that is from 12 until 2. And then we're going to bring it on
Fat
back.
girls be going hard.
They do. They funny. Marty is a mess. That's all I can say about that. All right, y'all. So that's all I got. We're going to tell you all about our holiday parties coming up. Soon. HighVibe will have a holiday party at Brick House, and we'll get you the date next Tuesday. Brick House, our biggest event coming up now is going to be the New Year's Eve party, the New Year's Eve celebration on the 31st. So the tickets are already on sale. You can go to our Eventbrite. What's the Eventbrite?
It's
Black is
Black is
Gold.
Gold event or Black and Gold affair. You'll
So
see it.
our theme is called Black is Gold because we always celebrate our culture and the richness of our culture, and then we're also merging that with the black and gold colors. You're not required, so don't think that you have to, but we do like to do theme parties. So our theme this year is black and gold. All right, I'm done.
All right.
Okay.
You want her to go first?
Yes.
Are you ready? You
No,
ready?
I want her to go first.
Oh, you got notes today? Hey, we need to shout out some of our listeners real quick.
All right.
Cornell, Alicia Goodson Abrams,
Who's
Donna
Cornell?
Rockmore, LaShonda May, seeing Fox in the house. She said yams is a sweet potato.
But somebody else.
Melissa, is it Cedeno? I ain't never knew how to pronounce your last name.
It's probably
Melissa.
Cedeno.
Ethel Renee Chambers.
Yeah, she said yams and
Grandma,
potatoes are
my
different.
grandma is watching.
They are different.
My granny's watching.
Hey,
Who's
Granny.
Felicia Guimont.
Hey, Granny.
She younger than me, but
Nuh-uh. That's the lady
Jamal
who know how to
T.
cook
Alexander's
real
cousin.
good.
and Fred
But she
Copeland.
act like a granny.
What's up?
What's up,
C.
y'all?
C, I ain't talking to you, man, till you come
where
back
you
out.
been? Cornell, don't be not saying hi. It's more than just G in this building.
Hey, he's
On the
a
studio.
protocol.
Oh.
Protocol.
That's what he doing.
Appreciate that, C.
Dang.
That's not, no.
See, that's that drag.
That's that protocol.
That's what that is.
That's all it is.
I think
So women don't get acknowledged.
I ain't say that.
I guess
Well, he
not.
didn't acknowledge.
He sure didn't.
He will.
It's 3 people on this show. Cornell, what's up?
Our show tonight is about like discipline, kids. Discipline. So our theme music got something to do with kids.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I always have to soften it up for you because you got real facts that we should know. So I don't want to make, you know what I'm saying, take away from
Make
you.
okay. I got you.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Well, I ain't.
Well, I'm gonna take a sip of my tea because you're not ready.
Is that what that is? That smells like Crown. I thought
It
was
is
Crown.
what I say it is. I
Oh,
mean,
my bad.
dang.
Sip tea.
Tea again, yes. Sip tea on Durham.
All right. Here we
Anybody
go.
know Coke?
Look, somebody else responded to it. I bet you this is for you,
what I
Durham.
need. What? Who is that?
I see you, homie.
Who is that? Who
Call
is
me.
it?
Roper.
Larry?
Roper Larry.
Oh, yeah. That's our
Roper
new.
is the last name?
That's the new kitchen cook.
Oh, that's the new cook. Oh, let me not act like I don't know that. Sorry. Hey, Larry.
Name that tune.
Turn it
so
up.
long.
Turn it up.
That's so
We
1920s.
can't hear it.
Them that's got shall have.
Oh.
Them that's not
Look
shall
at this
have.
expression right here. She has no idea. Don't even know the song.
It's 1920s.
Is new.
It's from.
It's
They've
so
redone
It's
it
like a flapper type music.
Papa may have.
God bless the child.
Bless the child.
Can we give her a black card and take it?
I feel
Can I
like
just
y'all.
make her one and then take it
No,
from
I feel like y'all be discriminating against me.
her? He's a classic solo. You gotta know
Yes.
I wasn't around when I was.
Yes.
We wasn't around.
But your parents.
Your parents were too. Yes, they were.
His parents grew up with what's that guy name?
So, do you know who the artist is?
No, I was trying to cheat real quick.
this.
Billie
She said she was
Holiday.
trying to-
Oh,
Come on,
I heard of
Solo.
Billie Holiday.
Oh my God.
I'm not.
Hey, nephew,
I swear y'all be.
don't take my spot, man. I can't
I
take it.
swear y'all be bullying me.
This ain't got nothing to do with
Man,
bullies.
y'all are bullies. For real. Anywho,
How are we bullying you though? I'm confused.
because every time Daryl plays music from the 1920s, y'all expect for me to know.
I have played every generation.
You done played
And
20s,
genre.
30s, 40s, 50s. You
60s,
done
70s,
played every-
80s, 90s, and 2000, new millennium, and you still ain't known that one song. So, don't blame me for that.
Oh,
Go ahead, man. Come on
God.
with your little
What?
facts.
With
I
my
mean,
little-
with your
with
facts.
My, with my
With
little
your-
facts.
Very important.
All right,
facts.
well then let me ask you something. Since you think that I have little facts, do you know who founded Essence magazine? Do you know?
No,
Do you
I
know?
don't.
Oh, so but I got little facts.
No, not said.
Ooh, she's so
I corrected
aggressive.
myself.
I am not aggressive. Anywho, so the co-founder, one of the co-founders of Essence magazines is a man. His name is Edward Lewis. And it's very current because he's still alive. He was born in the 1940s in Bronx, New York. He came from very humble beginnings. He grew up in the projects in a poor area that was drug infested, violence, all of that. But like all parents, they wanted something better for him, and so they instilled like a hard work ethic and a desire to succeed in life. All right. So he was very good academically in school. He played football, got a football scholarship. went to New Mexico University, played football. But because he grew up during the time of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, he developed, just like everybody, when you go to college, you kind of find yourself. So he developed these so-called radical ideas about racial equality, and so he ended up losing his scholarship. But the thing about it is that he did not let that stop him. He went ahead and
He
graduated.
lost his scholarship because he was too pro-black.
Pretty much, yeah. But he continued to go to school, graduated, became a financial analyst. He ended up going to a, what is it called? I want to get it right. He went to a Blacks in the Business World conference, and from that moment on, it kind of changed his life. And a year later, because he decided that he was going to start a very unique black business, so from that point on, that's when he developed or co-founded Essence Magazine, which is, of course, geared towards black women. And on top of that, you know, there's other branches to Essence Magazine, you know, like the Essence Festival and what does he do?
They had a fashion line.
Yeah, they got a fashion line. And
They're
I think he
affiliated
did
with a
like
makeup
TV
line.
I think he had like a weekly TV show or something.
Oh, I didn't know
like
that. Okay.
Yeah, so he did a lot of great things. And then after that success, he started the the Latin,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Latina magazine. I didn't know that either. I thought that was very profound. And because of his success and respect in the media world, he was the first black chairman of the Magazine Publishers of America in 1997. The first black person to do that. So, any of
learned
y'all
something.
know an Edward Lewis? Like, I'm not saying the Edward Lewis, but a person like him. People that grew up from very humble beginnings, did really well in school, you know, despite the odds that were against them, and actually excelled and exceeded in their life. Like, y'all know Edward Lewis?
I think most people do.
My daddy.
I
I think
think
the
so,
big.
too.
I think the biggest for us, and I know some exceptions, so don't even jump on me.
I'm
me.
not.
Whenever it's somebody who's done some really good things, and it's a minority, it's always most of the time coming from very humble beginnings and low income families, and that's where you get your character
Inspiration.
from. Yeah.
Yep.
I know, but what do you
Can you
think
imagine
about-
growing up not going through nothing? As soon as you get out into the world, all these problems hit you, and you're just standing in the street like,
You don't know
why
what to
me?
do.
Why me?
But even them, though, in some cases, even those people even develop a backbone and they learn. They may kind of start a little later in life, but eventually, you know what I'm saying, they learn the game real quick, get in the game, and make something
I'm just
happen.
glad I didn't grow up with money. I just throw that out there.
My dad grew up extremely poor, like poor to the point where they cut down the wood to build their own house. Like
Ooh.
by hand, they built their own house from chopping the wood
Ooh.
to building the house.
And you know why I said that? Because when you let's say like you didn't have money and then you got money. Now your challenge is to instill that same thing in your kids without
Yeah.
giving them
Exactly.
everything.
And that is a challenge. It's a big challenge. But I want to give. I mean, I think that people, children,
That's part of the
across
topic
world,
tonight too.
It
Yeah.
is, which is good because I got you just gave me some stuff to think about. Go ahead.
But children that may be experiencing some type of hardship, or maybe their families, you know, are struggling economically, or whatever it is, just know that if Edward Lewis could do it, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. It can be done. You know. So that's what I got.
That was
Shout
good.
out to Edward Lewis. Remember that. It's a very
E.
common
Lou.
name.
E. Lou in the house.
Look at you giving nicknames. E. Lou.
I'm ready. G.
You ready? All right, hold on.
You supposed to look.
I got some kid music ready for her too. I'm not even gonna ask you who this is. I'll just show you. Who is that? It?
I can't hear it. Another bad Christian.
No bad kid.
My
Nailed it.
music
I
for real.
didn't
Nailed
know.
it.
I ain't
I
gonna
know
lie,
my
didn't
I know my
That's why I
music.
showed you.
Thank you. Thank you for looking at me. Instead of
We
putting
wasting
on
time
blast,
asking you who's
You got to look out for your sister. Just like I
on the
look out for
monkey
you.
bar.
Yeah, another bad creation. What up, B?
Peace.
All right.
What's up, B?
Y'all ready?
You getting later and later.
Like to here you go.
Let's go.
Okay, so I got two. The first one, The first
What are
one.
we doing?
This is an African proverb.
African proverb.
He that beats the drum for the madman to dance is no better than the madman himself.
Oh man.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think it's simple, but I
got
do
that
think
one.
it's a good
Go ahead,
conversation.
Solo. She got it.
Want me to do it again?
He who
Want me to
beats
read
the
it
drum-
again?
yes.
Okay. He who beats the drum for the madman to dance to is no better than the madman himself. It's simple to interpret, but I just think it's good for
Don't
good
say
conversation.
that. Don't say that.
Yeah, because I didn't get it.
I told you don't say it. I told you don't say it.
I didn't get it.
Like me thinking that the Billie Holiday song is easy.
Don't say it.
Can you go first?
If I go
She
first,
being
I'm gonna
funny.
get it.
No, can you
She
go
can
first?
get it. She
No,
just
she
being
she
funny.
really don't have it.
No, I'm
Yes,
for
she
real.
does.
Like,
No,
Daryl-
she don't have it.
Daryl with me on this.
No, she don't have it.
Go ahead, Daryl.
All right, come on.
Go.
You far for that.
I'm gonna tell you what I hear from that.
Okay.
What do you hear?
I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say I know you the kind of person that I always like to fight. I'm staring you up. Hey, you gonna let her talk to you like that?
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. She said something about your mom.
Right.
I ain't no better than you.
Right.
I
You
know
just
you
as much a
fool,
part of the fight.
and I'm helping you to be a fool.
Right.
So I'm no better than you.
Right.
That's my answer. What's yours?
Okay. What you said?
You like that?
Mhm.
Oh, I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
You agreed. I'm wrong.
You not because she said
You give your own interpretation.
You said he who beats the drum for the madman to dance is the madman himself.
It's no better than.
Oh, it's no better
Mm-hmm.
than the madman himself. So for me, it's what you said. I feel like I feel like if you
Can I change my answer now?
No, go
whatever,
ahead.
be quiet. I feel like if you are a person who takes on, I'm trying to use another example, like a person who, it makes me think of like birds of a feather flock together. Like
Right.
people who kind of do the same thing. So if you're angry and I'm angry, like we all kind of
Like we
pretty
feed
much-
in the
Right.
drama.
yeah, we pretty much do
Or
the
we
same
can
thing.
feed, but they are talking about madman because of course I was gonna turn it and find the beauty in it. There's no beauty.
Ain't no
in
beauty
that.
in that.
There's no beauty.
You just
Unless
straight up
you
mad.
saying madman as in genius.
Oh, come on. Turn
You
your
gotta
mic
get a
on.
mic.
You want to take your shot?
Turn your
Is that
mic
what you
on.
So
said?
what you going V? What you gonna improve on my answer? What you trying to do?
Ah,
You
Judge.
can't look.
Did you
This
push
is
it?
the only man on the black of the
Okay,
berry.
what is
You
it?
can't make him look
late.
bad.
You're way too late to be coming in.
Coming in and correcting
answering.
somebody.
Go ahead, V.
What you got?
I think it just means that if you supporting crazy, you pretty much are crazy.
That's what he said. Did you hear his answer?
Yeah, because he said instigating. Yeah, he said something about. Well, he didn't say
Well,
the
I'm
word
talking about,
instigating.
like, for example, let's say
Okay.
you got this dude in your house without no job, but you supporting him. You actually.
Oh, that's a good example.
Yeah, he doing crazy. I mean, this is crazy, and you supporting crazy. That make you just as crazy.
Yeah, that's a good example.
I guess, but you know
I
what?
think it's the same answer. Y'all just gave two
Yeah,
different examples.
But that means that my homegirl is crazy because when I be ready to do something crazy, she gonna ride with me. So that means we both.
No,
crazy.
I don't think so.
I talk you off the ledge all the time.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, I got a
Because
couple
she
of
may
homegirls. I'm
be
just
be
saying.
willing to ride with you, but she's not the one who got you to that.
But she not
know what?
She
instigating
ain't
you.
instigating. She just saying, "Hey,
She do.
I know
probably
you
have to-
probably wrong, but I rode with you."
No, she don't. Sometimes she say, "You know what?
No, for an
I feel.
example.
I feel what you're saying, and you right." So
Well, you do got one
but-
individual that I did say I don't want to see that individual. However, I do try to bring peace.
Yes, but that's good point. That's exactly what I'm talking about right there.
But I do still.
I know. You
Don't
are
want her to come
you
to
the
Brick House.
peacemaker, and I don't either because it's gonna be a
She can
Yes,
come
it
to
is.
Brick House. She pay.
No, she can't. I'd rather pay that $10 myself and
And
she
Keep
stay
her
out.
out.
Yes.
That'll work.
because it's gonna be.
But
a
she
problem.
might have spent like 20 on the bar.
She ain't gonna
Give
do
me
that.
20.
She ain't gonna do that.
And
What
if
we got?
if
What's
I'm
this?
in there, it's gonna be
It's
a
your
problem.
turn.
I'm just
Oh, you
letting
thought you
know.
had two?
Oh, I can do another one.
No, we already behind. Let me-
Dang, he got you already.
we already, man. It's already almost 9 o'clock.
Okay, well, come on.
Well, let's get with it.
We need our glasses for this.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
oh,
we
wait.
do, we do.
Oh no, this is for the petty. When I get ready to go petty.
What is the glasses?
Sound like a line dance.
All these stepdaddies got to go through all this we talking about tonight.
Stepdaddies.
That's stepdaddy.
Okay. Now glasses.
Now glasses?
Shades.
Oh. We throwing shade now.
All right. Couple of little random and petties. I like this flyness we got going on right now.
We pretty fly. I think
I
we
think
fly.
we're pretty freaking fly right now.
I think
We
we
pretty
always
fly.
fly, but we extra fly today
We extra
Yeah.
fly today.
because of the
Fly.
glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
We fly on 20 and got you.
So, you ever noticed that if you have a job and you have a car, the person that takes you home is always your best friend?
Oh yeah.
You think so?
Yes. You got to be friendly with the person taking you home. How you going to get home?
Okay.
Even if you don't like that person, if they got a car and they going your way,
They
you gotta-
looking out.
You got to figure out a way to be friends, and you're gonna be like, hey, you're gonna suck up to them till they can. Till
I
you
want
can
to know
get
why
a,
you
till you
picked
can get
that,
a car.
but I'm gonna leave that alone.
I'm thinking.
Nah. I'm just
I'm
saying.
trying to relate. I can't find. I was thinking.
You
about
know
the
it ain't
same
because of you. But yeah, that's a known fact.
I feel some kind of way.
You
but
can,
okay.
No,
how
you
you
must be
how
an
you gonna be
insider.
innings with the person that gotta take you home?
I agree with that.
You
I agree with that.
And
You got to call the Uber.
and here's my final one for the night.
You only did one.
I said final one.
Okay, come on.
I did one. This is my final
Okay,
one.
come on.
So it's final. Yeah.
Lois, you like the Terminator right now.
I know. I
Them
feel
glasses
like
are pretty fly right
I feel
there.
like Loke, like Tone Loke a little bit.
Look like you got a Harley or something outside.
I do.
But anyway,
Harley's come from Wisconsin.
and this is not up for debate.
Right.
Y'all might want to talk on it if you want
But
to,
we're
but
not
this
talking.
is not up for
Okay.
debate. It ain't nothing wrong with a woman giving a man all her money.
Ah, yeah, no.
Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Hecky,
Man, I can't
no.
even tell you what was going
That
on
wasn't
here
no
just
question.
Let
It ain't
say
like-
amen.
No, HighVibe ain't saying amen to that.
now. And Black of the Berry ain't either.
The Black of the Berry don't co-sign for that.
Is rightest the word? That is the rightest thing I've ever heard.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
The players' ball, you got 12 months before you can start talking. You got 11 months.
It's still oozing out of my
So-
pores.
The 11 month, the month before the
you got a
next
problem with that? So
players'
I
ball,
do.
I don't.
I'm sure you don't.
Lotus, do you have a problem with that?
Yes.
I feel like if you
Look.
don't have a problem with
Oh, I
that,
can
you
I
are
can roll with it. Let me
sorry.
tell you why.
Go ahead and speak your little piece.
I can tell you why I can roll with that.
Stop calling my stuff.
I can tell you why I can roll with that.
Tell me
Okay.
why.
If I give it to you and all my stuff is taken care of and I dress as fly as I want to dress and I ride as fly as I want to ride,
And you walk
And my
as far as
bills-
you want to walk.
nah, then you lost me there. We done. I was trying to roll with you, G. You out of there. You out of there.
What you got a problem with, Solo?
I just think that the man, I mean, the man is the provider, the protector. He's supposed to be the head. And so I just
You
can't-
proving my point right now, but go ahead.
No, because I can't really see a woman giving a man all of her money. Like that's not the natural order.
You feel like he's supposed to
That
give her the
is what-
money.
He's supposed to take care of her and provide.
How you gonna
for
take
her.
care of her without the money?
He's such a
he
pimp, for
needs
real.
to
Like, for
work.
real.
Well, nah. See, you missed the point.
He needs to provide.
But look, this is where you missed the point. I didn't say he didn't work. I didn't say he was
It's
a
just
bum.
when she work, he get
So
his
he
money.
gonna-
I didn't say
so
he was
gonna
a
take
bum.
my
It's just when
money.
she work, he get her money
He
too.
gonna take care of
He
me
ain't
with my
gonna
money.
take your money. You are going to.
Ooh, he pimping.
Yeah. No.
Oh
you
my
are going to-
How
God.
much money did you get Saturday night from
Huh?
your females? I just want to know.
What do you mean by that?
Sa-
Are you talking about the servers, or what are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about the party that you had Saturday night, right?
Yeah, I got paid
And you was
just for the
dressed like
record.
you was dressed like a pimp, right?
I did get paid for
You
the
was
record.
dressed like a pimp, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so usually a pimp have hoes, right?
I ain't calling no female that. Don't even try to put me in. You ain't about to paint me with that brush.
Okay, so
I just said it ain't
so-
nothing wrong
So your
with.
chicks.
Now I ain't said a
call them
woman
chicks.
got to give a man
Where'd you
all
go?
her money, but if she decides to, there's nothing wrong with that. That's all I'm saying. I didn't say you got to give a man all your money. I said it ain't nothing wrong with it if you choose to.
He said it's your choice.
It's your choice.
Can you co-signing on that, Zion?
I hope he is. He's a man. I'm speaking for all men.
Don't be teaching my son wrong.
That's not wrong.
Don't be teaching my son.
That's all I
wrong.
got.
Yeah, you done with your pettiness.
That's it.
today.
Thank you.
But I I just, you
Yeah,
know.
Lotus half agreed with me.
I just don't
She
think
said
it's
if
anything
she-
wrong as long as he meets all of her needs and some. Because
Bingo.
in all honesty, all it is like a joint account, and he handled the money, and he give her, you know, he put money in her
But-
pocket. I really, I mean,
Yeah.
I ain't that type of chick, but I don't necessarily think that.
But you know the spirit in which Daryl is saying that. in.
Spirit.
You know what I'm saying?
What spirit am I
You
saying?
know,
it?
you know.
I just
how
made a
He's
statement.
still Frank Lucas right now.
I just made a
See what
statement.
I'm
I
saying?
ain't no spirit.
Yeah.
I ain't come with no certain spirit. I just made a statement.
You know.
Even when I'm right, I'm wrong. In Solar's eyes.
No.
Solar, just
Yes.
try it for a couple months.
I ain't trying.
See how
No.
long your marriage lasts. It'll last forever. Check this out. Give your husband your check every week, or however often you get paid. Give him your check, and I guarantee y'all stay married
You
forever.
finna start some mess. Oh my
I'm just
God.
saying.
In her own mind. You just don't know.
Just try it.
He don't.
She ain't going for that.
Facebook.
Let's see what. Let's ask
Say, if
Facebook.
any of you are having problems, marital problems,
Just
Facebook,
give him all your money.
If you're a
You
female,
crazy.
give your husband your check
Man, I'm
and
finna
watch
tell you.
how the problems
I'm
disappear.
finna tell you like this. Any man that I'm
Dealing with a
with
nut
will
here.
not even accept that from me. Period.
You ain't tried it. You better
Nah.
try to see.
I'm just letting you know the real. Like
Try to
any
see.
man that I'm with will
Facebook.
not accept that from me.
You're talking to Dr. Darrell right now.
So that should tell you something.
I'm saving marriages daily.
Yeah, right.
One
Don't
who-
believe that.
One who's
Saving
not
marriages
married
daily. And
himself.
relationships.
One who's not married.
I've been there and
himself
now I know
is-
what not to do.
And so,
I didn't get her money.
if you would have got her money, you would still be married.
We wouldn't be sitting here now. We'd be Lake Minnetonka or something.
Ethel said she
Oh my
did, and she's divorced. So that
So,
don't work.
She just proved it. Yes. that
She
did
said
not work.
that didn't work for her. She did that, and she
That's because
divorced.
she didn't
Thank
give
you,
a,
Ethel.
She didn't give 100.
It really don't matter if you do or you don't.
She gave 90.
A
She's
divorce
Did you
is a
give
divorce.
all of it? That's what we want to
She's
know.
supposed to give 100.
Hey, Charlotte. That's my sister.
100%.
See,
roll.
Tyranny got the song God Bless the Child. All right, y'all.
Oh, I didn't know what that meant.
Okay, y'all ready to go?
Let's roll.
So, tonight we are talking about.
Who is that?
Who is that?
Who is that?
Is that you?
Who is
Is
that?
that you, Lotus?
And no, King, she is not right.
Naya was rocking them glasses while you was out of town. She was flying them,
Yeah,
too. She was
Yeah,
fly.
Naya's, she just fly.
Yeah. She just fly anyway.
Naya
fly.
is fly.
Naya fly.
Hey, Naya, if you're listening.
She was flying them glasses, though,
Peace,
over the
queen.
weekend. My baby gonna be... Okay.
She is.
Yep, her birthday, December 14th. She's gonna be 18.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, y'all. So tonight we are talking about disciplining our children in the school system. So
Did you ever go to that post?
you didn't send me the.
I tagged you.
I didn't get it.
Oh yeah. It got heated. I
It
wonder if we
did.
could, yeah, I might read some.
But we
comments
put a post.
You put it out there, too,
Yeah,
right?
I did. So we got some of those, but I never saw the original reason you wanted to do this topic. So tell us why you wanted to do this topic. You saw a post.
Yeah, I mean, we've been thinking about it, and then a post came up, and then, you know,
I don't have it.
I deal with these school children a little bit, not like the teachers do. And I talk to a lot of the teachers, and they are having issues with these kids as young as 5, 6, 7 years old.
My sister is a teacher, and you know what she said? She said that, okay, she got this one class where it's just off the chain. So they brought this boy, I guess, who used to be in ISS. What is that?
In school suspension.
Yeah. Or no, he was in an alternative school. So they brought him and put him in this
Jail.
class that was already off the chain. And she said he was just so disruptive all the time, so she put him out.
Mm-hmm.
She said he came by her class the next day and did like this to her. Just opened the door and did like this and did like that. And threatened her.
And she's doing 8th grade, right? Is it 8th grade or 7th grade?
No, I don't
It's
know. I
middle
think
school.
it's 8th grade. I don't know.
I
It's
think
one
she
of the
told
two,
me
but it
8th
is a
grade.
middle school.
Yeah, I think she told me 8th grade.
So I know these children are off the chain. But
Some are.
Yeah, you're right. Some, not all.
So
I got mixed feelings about that. So
I
what
wonder,
you think?
what are your mixed feelings?
Yeah,
Bringing back corporal punishment, aka the paddle to the butt.
Yeah, I couldn't have nobody hit my children. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. I don't know about. I don't know who you are and where is this coming from and what your circumstances are. I couldn't do it.
But see, that's the thing. I think that's a lot of people's gripe right there, and you shouldn't look at it that way because usually, if they have something like that in the school, there will be an administrator, which will be one person that is designated to do something.
Since
like
And
when?
I
that.
still don't know who that one person is. I
Well,
don't know what their
It wasn't like
circumstances
that when I was
are.
growing
But
up.
then you gotta. Well, it
Your
was like
teacher
that when
had
I
a
was.
paddle if she wanted.
It was like that when I was growing up, but we forgot. You was born in like 1919 or
I was
something.
born whenever you should have been born.
Whatever. But the thing is that, okay, so look at it like this. So even now, how often do parents go up to the school and build a relationship with their child's teachers or with the administration, like with the principal, the secretary, you know, all the people in the front office? So how often do you do that? If you trust people to teach your children, and they're disciplining your children anyway, because if they get out of line, they're going to be redirected. So how often do you do that? You know what I'm saying? In order for some, and I'm not attacking you, I'm just saying like in general. In order for someone to say, I don't know what they're like, I don't know what their motives, I don't know. But you don't really know anything if you're not up there on a regular basis, you know, involved in your child's school life. Because it's a whole nother life, period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if you're not up there volunteering at that school, like, children are cursing, they're slapping, you know, girls on the butt, and, you know, they having sex in the bathroom, smoking weed in the bathroom, skipping school, like, whatever it is, you name it. You know what I'm saying? And your child could be a part of that. You don't know. Or your child could have a crazy teacher cussing them out, like at the high school. And I'm not going to say the high school, but at the high school, there is a principal of a specific grade level that cuss children out.
So it should be okay for that individual to take a paddle and discipline my child?
No, because I do think that there are certain standards. Like, you're not just going to paddle a child for every single thing. You have to reach, like, instead of sending a child to ISS for, like, you're not going to get a paddle because you're tardy to class 3 times. That's not going to happen. But maybe if you got in a fight 3 times, or you skipped class 3 times in the bathroom, or you got caught smoking weed, or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, that may constitute as a paddling. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have that, so I don't really know, you know, what that's like. But you're not finna get a paddle.
So you're pro paddling?
Yes, I'm pro.
What are you, G?
I am I am pro whatever works. Which means that I wouldn't do it. Like I think it worked back in the day, and the reason I think it worked is because if you just knew you would get a paddling, a lot of things were probably cut out, and if your parents were okay knowing that you could get a paddling, it was just easier on everybody. Cause it's like your child already knows my mama okay
There's some
with
consequences.
this, so I need to chill. And for us, it was the fact that if you got a paddling, whether you thought you deserved it or not, you didn't even want your parents to find out. Like now, it's like kids are gonna be texting if it was, you know what I'm saying? They texting even if a teacher look at them wrong. Oh, she looking at me and she said this. And
Or try to take their phone.
so I mean, I don't just agree that paddling is the only solution. And
I don't
like,
either.
Charlotte Mayfield, she said, why is our first response for our kids is to hit them? This would never be considered in white schools or good Montessori schools. Well, great point, Charlotte, but just let me say this. We cannot raise our kids like white people do, because if you're trying to raise black kids like white kids, black kids don't have the privilege that white kids have. Let's just be honest. Mm-hmm. You can't afford for your kid to go out in public and curse out a cop, and it's two totally different responses to that. You know, your child could end up being a statistic by reacting to a police officer or somebody in authority like a white person. So I half agree with her. I don't think
I understand what
I
you're
don't
saying,
think
though.
hitting is the only, but I'm saying
I don't think so
if
either.
if the school district said, "Hey, we'll have corporal punishment with parents," the parents who say, "Yeah, if my kid gets out of line, you put something on his butt." You get permission slips from those parents, then I think it's okay. But the ones who say no,
Yeah, it would be a no
Well,
for me.
But
Yeah,
you
no.
can't. But you can't really. It's like kind of like.
But
like,
where did that come from, Lotus? Because
What?
you surprised me with that answer.
Why do I feel?
Yeah, why
Because
did you-
I feel like I feel like the world is different now than it was in the
And I think it's a reason.
50s and
Go ahead.
60s when households were more stable then. So, are you gone, son? Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta say bye. He leaving for California. All right.
Yeah,
I
what?
see you. Love you. Be good. Make good
Be careful,
choices.
brother.
Oh, please.
You get it?
Be
Hey,
safe.
you need something? Call my sister.
When you take a break? Wait.
You need something? Call my sister.
When you take a break?
Huh?
No, man, we don't take breaks in this show.
Man, we look. This
He
is like
said
a
got a
because,
reality.
commercial
he said
loaded or
because I'm
something?
This
leaving.
is like a reality
He said because
show.
he leaving.
Like, we're authentic.
All right, baby. Be
Peace,
good. I'll talk
be
to you
safe.
tonight. Okay. Love you too. But I think if we were dealing with the same stability in households, it would be different. But to have the amount of stress that people are under now, I would not be okay with somebody. There are too many people that have dealt with drugs in their systems. There are too many children that have been exposed to that, and you don't know what these children are dealing with. So you hit them, and you could open up a whole different can of worms.
Well, that's what we saying. Parents.
Have to okay it.
I mean, that's just my loophole as far as.
I think somebody had made that argument about children having these different situations going on at home, and schools typically have social services like within the school that deal with things like that. So I'm sure all of that will be taken into consideration. Like,
It's
you're
not. Let me tell you
No.
how I know. No, I can tell you as a parent. I can tell you, we went through hell the last 3 years. Hell, I say the last 4 years. I never had anybody from the school reach out to see what was going on when they saw the difference in my children's productivity.
Lotus, it's 1,000 students. I mean,
I'm just responding to her statement.
But I'm not talking about.
I'm not saying that it has to
I'm
be
saying-
anything individual. I'm responding to the statement of if there are problems going on in the house, then there has to be systems where there should be, but I don't think that necessarily means that they do.
Well, I'm saying stuff like if you have a child in foster care because they came from a bad environment at home, they were sexually abused or whatever the case may be. They have, like, certain districts have things like communities in schools. They actually have social workers on campus to assist those students. Now, I'm not talking about, like pretty much everybody's family, and I'm not trying to minimize anything. I'm just saying I'm talking about more issues that are more centered around stuff like foster care and like direct abuse. You know what I'm saying? That where the state is involved. Like, those students get help. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is someone on campus that assists in those areas. So naturally, if paddling was a part of the discipline method at school, they wouldn't be.
I think
subjected to
okay.
that.
Charlotte responded. She said, "So the only solution is to raise them with the slave methods. I've worked in the jails, and believe me, they've been hit." My response to that is, where did we go from this one extreme to the other? I mean, I've heard people make the connection between slaves being hit, but that, my opinion is, that doesn't play a part in it. What I think is, and I hadn't always thought this, but the last 15 years or so, I've thought you just got to do you gotta match that level, you know, however you need to. Like I've said, some kids you can just look at and get the correct response. Some kids you can raise your voice. Some you can put in timeout and it works. Some need a belt on their butt.
And I agree
and it
with
ain't
that.
abuse. I mean,
I do. I just don't think it's
I
the
don't think
school's place. I think that the world is too
well,
unstable.
you can't talk about the village then if you saying. I mean, I ain't saying all kids, but I'm saying you can't talk about the village and then remove the school and the neighbor and your aunt, and you can't remove them from the equation and then say it takes a village, because it just.
And I can respect that. However, I do respect that. But I feel like
And your kids may not need paddling or whatever, but for me,
and they might need it.
for me, I would say, where's the form? If he gets out of line, because he knows how we roll. If you think you need to paddle him, you paddle him.
Now, I
You-
can't
if
say.
you think you need to paddle him, please do.
Well, I can't say as a parent.
And
I
he gonna
would-
be worried about why you had to get paddled. See, we ain't addressing the kids and the undiscipline that they're showing in these schools. We haven't addressed that yet. We just talking about no, you can't because of no. But what about the kids?
Well, but wait a minute. I think as a parent, I would like to be notified. Like, even though I am pro like paddling, I would like to be notified. I would definitely like to be notified beforehand. But I can see it being a touchy subject.
I'd rather have my kid get paddled than a cop come into class, drag my kid out of class.
because they have police officers on
because
campus,
because
and it has
they will
happened.
do that.
Yeah.
If your kid is undisciplined, now the law steps
And
in.
they get
now,
irate.
now your hands are tied. You have no say so in how they handle it. They can
They
manhandle
do
your
it
kid.
on the middle school campus.
I don't
and the
think
high
all
school
kids need it. I am not saying that, but some do. That's all I'm saying. Some do. So
If you have a child in the classroom and the rule,
I just hear these teacher stories,
The
and they are
rule is
horror stories in a lot of
you
these
can
schools.
have your cell phone out, and if you have your cell phone out in class, I'm gonna have to take it, and you're gonna have to pay $15 to get it back. And the child has their cell phone out, and you ask for their phone, and they refuse to give it to you, and they make a big scene, and they disrupt the whole class, and now people are looking, the whole classroom environment is disrupted, and the child is like actually telling you off and saying, I'm gonna get my mama. Like, how do you deal with that? As an educator, how do you
They
deal
gotta
with
go.
I just feel
They have
like
to go out of my classroom.
it? Right.
But am I going to put myself in harm's way because I hit this child and they hit me back?
No, you don't hit the child.
If I'm paddling, that's a
That's why I
hit.
say it's only with parent permission. Or
Okay,
should
well,
be.
even a parent can give you permission. I don't even think that's safe for the teacher.
No, the teacher is not. Well,
So where have we gone to where?
Now, when you're talking about little children, that's different.
But this is my point. Where have we? I think that's exactly where we've gone wrong. To where now everybody's afraid of the child, and it ain't never supposed. It was never
And people
designed for the adults.
And you
to
know
be
what?
afraid
It's
of
not
kids.
these children. It's not all the children's fault either when they being born. We are dealing with a generation of children that were not raised. We're dealing with a generation of children that are crack babies.
So the teacher is supposed to take on all that undisciplined and the teacher is supposed to absorb everything at the school. I don't think
No.
it's fair to the teacher.
I don't either. I think that there needs to be some proper programs in place to help those children.
but what type of programs? Because they do have programs, but I think those programs model the prison system. They do. They have ISS, they have DAEP, they have alternative school. You know, a lot of school districts don't do suspension anymore because you get paid based off of how many heads you got in the school. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but my thing is, you know what I'm saying, the school is in the community. People in the community own houses. They're paying taxes, you know what I'm saying, to support the school. So,
I believe 1,000% in the village concept. But for me, the village, the way the village looks to me is individuals that are engaged in this child's life, and I have a relationship with those individuals. All teachers don't, and parents don't necessarily have relationships. They just don't. So for me
It
to
ain't
be
never
comfortable,
been like that though.
huh?
It ain't never been like
yes,
where
it has.
every parent got
Well,
a
no.
relationship
Well,
with every
before
child.
you put
I
your
mean,
hands-
every teacher got a relationship.
But
with
before
every
you put
child.
your hands on my child, because you don't know what those people are dealing with at their own in their own lives,
See,
and how stable they are.
but But what's the difference if they teaching your child every day? For me, it's not a matter of put your hands on my child. I don't even look at it like that.
That's what
'Cause
paddling
you ain't
is.
putting to me, that ain't putting your hands on
Well,
them.
what is it?
Putting your hands on my child is like hitting them or choking them. That's, to me, putting your hands on my child.
Okay.
Spanking my child with a paddle, that ain't putting your
Okay,
hands
well,
on. That's to
spanking
me.
them.
That's
But
to me.
spank. Okay, well, spanking them. I'm just saying though, when people spank, I tell you like this. I have unleashed some frustration with a belt. I have. It's not all they get on your nerve and you thinking about the last time they got on your nerve and you let them make it, and this is a habit that you're developing, so you may be a little bit more aggressive than what you need to be at that particular time. I don't want nobody else handling. I think that's my job.
I mean,
So at what point are we going to address the kids?
We can address the kids,
No,
but that
I mean-
was the first
Address them right
question.
No, I don't mean in the show. I mean, at what point, generally,
Well, let's talk about that.
are we going to address the children as far as their behavior?
oh,
That's what I mean. Like, we haven't addressed the children. Like, there are consequences to
you know what?
actions. Like, if your child cannot be allowed to just do whatever they want in your home, and then they're going to go out in public and do that. It's just not safe for your child. I would rather like I said earlier, I would rather give the school permission to paddle my child than to have my child thinking nobody can touch you. Nobody better not say nothing to you. Nobody better not. Because
I understand
they're
that.
going to take that out into the world. And for black kids, it ain't no happy endings to you going out thinking
I
nobody
understand
can.
that, too.
It's just not. So I would rather take a chance on somebody popping your butt because you won't stop talking or you won't put your phone up than you out here thinking you all that because your mama done told you nobody better not touch my child. And then now you got a cop gonna
And
drag
that's
you
the
down the
problem.
street and ain't nothing your parent gonna be able to do
That's
after
the
that.
problem right there, because the teacher and the parent, or the school and the parent, are supposed to be a team, and you are supposed to be a team for the betterment of the child, for the success of the child, and that's where the breakdown is.
And that's what I'm talking about. If it is a team environment, then that's different. And I don't think either does a good job at that. I don't think the parents do a good job at that, nor do I think that the teacher does a good job at that. I don't.
Well, I can only speak from the teachers that I know and that I'm around, and I'm affiliated with, and just from my I'm not saying that all teachers are great teachers, but I think for the most part, and the majority of the teachers, there are several lines of communication. There's a phone call, there's an email, there's a conference. You know what I'm saying? The school has different events that they hold at the school to actually get the parents to come out, whether it's a muffins with moms, or like I think recently there was like a Thanksgiving, like a thankful breakfast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where the parent has to come out. Only way the child can participate if the parents come out. So there's like.
But what
math
about those
night.
children whose parents can't come out because they working?
Well,
Right.
but that's what I'm saying. So, but it's at different times. You may have something in the morning. You may have something at the end of the day, like math night or college. You know what I'm saying? Like there's different events that are taking place because schools do like that as part of their initiative. So they have these different events or programs to get parents to be a part of the school community, to come out and kind of mingle and just kind of build camaraderie and have fun, with the parents and the teachers. So that's in place. Now, I'm not saying that all schools do this. I'm not saying that all teachers are great, but I think for the most part, those systems are in place to get parents on board, to have parents, out at the school more, because there's a lot of barriers, that keeps parents away. It could be a language barrier.
Yeah.
It could be education. They may feel like they're not smart enough to kind of help their child, or whatever the case may be. And so there are things that are events or whatever that are put into place. Like parents will show up for if their child playing basketball or football, parents out all day long. You know what I'm saying? They'll make that happen.
I just think it was better, and I don't think it had anything to do with slave mentality or the increase in prison populations. I don't think discipline a kid. Now, abuse maybe, but I ain't speaking on abuse. Abuse may play a part in that, but I don't think spanking your kid is, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If you ain't hitting them in the eye or the nose and popping them in the mouth, even though, some teenagers get to where they,
Ooh.
you know what I'm saying, you might be thinking about doing that,
But you know what? I don't think that it's a bad system. I just think that we are not structured like that anymore. I think if we would have kept that going,
kept what going.
instead of them taking it out of the system to begin with, I think that
Oh,
our reality would be different than what it is now. But now, I don't think that you can reintroduce something like that because the circumstances of the world is so different. You got a lot of teachers, you got a lot of educators that are dealing with things.
But why
that
do you
have,
keep putting so much emphasis on the teacher? Like the teachers got so, or might have issues.
I'm just talking about the paddling, the one that's doing the
You
paddling.
think she might paddle too hard?
You don't know what you're
I
you don't know
really-
what you're gonna
But-
deal with.
But listen, I really don't think that the teacher would be put in a position to be responsible for paddling. Like most teachers have, well, let's speak from a middle school standpoint because I don't know what they do in elementary school. But most teachers have anywhere from 125 to 150 students. Like, that teacher is there to teach, not to really discipline, although we have to, not to really nurture a mother, but although we have to. They are, I don't see them being tasked with the responsibility of paddling someone else's child. Like, most teachers are not even going to agree to that. I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to be responsible for paddling. You tell me that's in my job description, I'm going to tell you, I'm sorry, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure they're not going to force you to do it. They're going to give you an option if you think it's
But
necessary.
you're not going to have, you know what I'm saying? If your staff is 125 teachers in the school, those 125 teachers are not going to be responsible for paddling students. 9 times out of 10, it will be the principal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
or an AP.
it was like that with us.
You see
You
what
know,
I'm
you
saying?
got up in high school or whatever. But
And usually, if you're having a conflict or some type of issue with a child, because you had said that, you know, you may be angry and you can kind of, and I know what that feels like because I've done it. But if it's a principal, like a third,
They don't
party or
really
whatever,
have that interaction with
Yeah,
the
they
child.
don't.
so
I understand
so let
that.
me understand this. Do y'all think teachers are just gonna, if your child doesn't act up in class, you know, comes in, does their work, follows the rules, you think they're just gonna pull your kids out and just spank them?
Of course not.
Man,
So
gotta-
you saying what are you saying if your child does?
You have a lot of teachers that have.
Here we go again. I'm just saying you keep on attacking teachers.
I'm not attacking
You
teachers
keep
at
saying,
all.
well, the teacher, what about the child? You keep saying the teacher, that you have a lot of teachers, and the teacher, what about the child?
I'm gonna
It
say-
ain't no onus on the child.
Right, because I'm going to tell you what happened today. Like, it's this inclusion teacher that has a problem with this particular class, and this particular boy. He's been a problem since he was in the 7th grade. I think I've been knowing him since he was in 7th grade. He has been a problem. But he'll come in class, and the class will be quiet, everybody will be working, and he'll say something stupid. I mean, well, maybe I shouldn't say something stupid, but he'll say something that, you know, out loud, breaking the silence in the class, you know what I'm saying, or do something that disrupt the whole classroom environment. Now everybody talking, people are off task, not working, you know what I'm saying? Then the teacher got to corral the students back, you know, come on, let's get this done, whatever, right? And then he'll do it again. Now, it sounds like the story that I'm telling you, it sounds very minute and not a big deal.
It's not.
But
Doesn't to me.
But the intent behind it, like the intent behind Daryl, woman pay, give the man her check. Like the intent behind it is you're purposely trying to be disruptive. You're purposely trying to get on my nerves. You're purposely, you know what I'm saying?
Disrupting the class.
Yeah, like you're doing this on
You're
purpose.
stopping the other children that want to learn from learning and
Yeah.
getting what they need. And
Exactly.
I agree with all of that.
So if that parent agreed, if that parent signed the form, do you think that's a just case? Or should he?
I wouldn't paddle
Or should he
him
be
for it.
talked to?
I wouldn't paddle him for it. I
What
don't
would you
think
do?
that
Put him in
warrants a paddle.
timeout. Timeout that ain't gonna work.
I
Well-
do think that if the parent signs the paper, then the parent is agreeing to that. I do.
If
And
he
then
was
it's
in my
okay.
class, I just put him out. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
And where's he
causing
going when you
distraction.
put him out?
He's going to the office, and then the office going to deal with that. I'm not dealing with it.
But then you're saying in the office, then that's when they do the paddling.
Whatever the office decide to do with him, whether they put him in ISS, put him in DAEP, put him whatever. You know what I'm saying? He's getting out of this class. You know. But I don't think that I think because it is kind of minute. I don't think that warrants a paddling.
So what would warrant a paddling to you?
I think a fight. I think a threat towards the teacher or any adult figure in the building.
I think the opposite of that.
What do you think?
I think a threat towards the teacher
They
would
need
be
to
a
call the
situation
police.
where you wouldn't want to, because that's going to escalate that situation. I would think if it's a threat toward the teacher or somebody threatening bodily harm to you, I think that's when it needs to be escalated, and a paddling ain't going to do nothing for that situation.
And you're probably right, because the little boy that did that to your sister, that symbol to your sister, he should have been expelled. Because why would you do that?
Yeah, that ain't a paddling situation.
So what did he do before that?
Oh, she said she been dealing with drama from him.
So whatever he did before that probably warranted the paddling situation.
The bottom line is parents need to do their part.
I agree with that 1,000%.
When it comes to these schools, there's too many parents allowing kids to dictate how the home is run.
This is why I say this. And
I mean,
know
not
you-
all, but I'm saying it's kids have no consequences to their actions like we used to. Like, there was a consequence. Like, if you knew you did this, this was the consequence. If you did that, this was the consequence. Now it's, well, my mama say nobody better not touch
See,
me.
this is why I don't think that it's good. I don't know enough about how that would be designed. If it is a specific person, counselor or something, I don't know. But the reason that I say no is because I think that they're way underpaid. They deal with so much drama from children and parents, to be honest with you. But when you combine all of that, I wouldn't want that person to be in charge of disciplining my children on a physical level, because there's some frustration attached to that.
But what about
and
your
dealing with
child?
that.
What about your child not getting in a situation where they need a paddling?
I agree
How
with
about
that,
that?
1,000%.
Yeah.
I'm a
That's-
disciplinarian.
That's my emphasis. My emphasis would be to my kids: don't put yourself in a situation to
Of course.
to get your butt whooped, because it's gonna happen.
Of
and
course.
then it may happen again. That's
Oh,
where
no,
I'm-
it's gonna happen
That's where
again.
I'm going with it. I'm like, don't put yourself in that situation. You don't have to worry about any of this.
Exactly.
If she says sit down, you sit down. If she said be quiet, you be quiet. And if you talk back to her, she has the right to whoop your butt, and you better not resist. That's where I'm going. That's the kind of parenting I'm talking about. So, it ain't gonna kill the child. Put a paddle on their butt. They'll be all right.
Wait, I want to comment to what Charlotte said. Because she said something about a slave mentality,
Yeah.
right? And I do.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, I do think that whoopings.
She said our ancestors did not beat their children. They probably didn't beat them, but I guarantee they put something on. I guarantee you, they didn't just go. They got spankings, or I guarantee you that. So I don't know where she got that. Our ancestors didn't.
Well,
Some ancestors probably didn't, but I guarantee you, a lot of them did.
I'm really kind of
They ain't no
unsure,
different than
because
us.
when you hear about this, you remember the school in South Africa, and they were spanking, like the school that Oprah Winfrey has in South Africa, and I think they were popping the children or doing something, and she had a problem with that. But anywho, so they
Of
probably
course
do.
Oprah has a
You know what I'm
problem
saying?
with
I don't know either
Oprah
way.
ain't black no more.
But
she got a problem with it.
I do think that whipping is a type of slave mentality. I think it comes
I
from
don't know where
slavery.
y'all get that from. Slave mentality.
I mean, I think it do, because in slavery times, if you wanted to get your enslaved person, to do
You
what you
can't
needed
compare.
them to
You
do,
can't compare
whip
getting your
them.
child.
But
If your
it's
child is
still-
just clowning in your house and you put a belt to their butt, you can't compare that to no slavery.
But it's still no. You can't look at
It
it
ain't-
like that. I'm talking
No,
about the
you can't look at it
concept-
like that. I don't
I'm
think
talking about
so.
the concept of whipping
Ain't no-
is a
just-
slave mentality.
So you don't think that there was whipping prior to slavery?
I don't know. I can't validate that, but I do think that a lot of people resort to whippings is because.
Well, my mom and
of
daddy
slavery.
wasn't slaves, and I wasn't no slave, and they whipped my
That ain't
butt,
the
and I
point.
turned out just fine.
Oh my God.
I mean, I'm serious. Like, I knew the line. It was a line, and it's like, okay, I crossed that line. I got my butt whooped. I didn't feel like it didn't harm me in any way. It made me go to school and say, like, okay, if somebody say I'm gonna call your daddy, I'm like, okay, we good. You don't have to.
At
say
what
that.
age do you think children should stop getting whoopings?
I don't know. I think it differs with every.
But give me a
situation.
general.
A general? I can't. I really never thought there was a, okay, it's you this age now. You don't
What you think,
I just
Solar?
think you just need to match whatever level of they are being undisciplined with your discipline.
I kind of agree with Daryl, but what I would say is, I know that it just depends on your child. Like I know, the oldest child that I have, you know what I'm saying, I stopped whipping her, I think maybe when she was, well, she's not really even challenging like that to get a whipping. But I think it was probably like 7th or 8th grade. But from the point where
So you don't think that she's done anything since 7th or 8th grade that
No.
would make you
I
say
didn't say
she
that.
needs to whip?
I didn't say that.
Okay, I'm just trying to get a clear understanding.
No,
You said
she-
she's not challenging like that.
No, she's not challenging like that. But of course, she's probably gonna do something, which she did. And at that point, when she was in high school, instead of me whipping her with a belt, I
Did other things.
did other things.
I
And
say
it-
do whatever you
and it
gotta
wasn't-
do.
and it
Your
wasn't
kids
pretty.
know the
It
difference
wasn't like
between
punishment.
getting abused and getting getting disciplined. They know. It's like I wasn't afraid of my daddy because he didn't abuse me, but I was afraid of what he would do to me if I stepped out of line.
That
It's a
could
difference.
possibly.
I ain't scared of you, but I'm scared of what you
Oh,
do
but
to
I
me
respect.
if I
Yeah.
cross the line. So
Yeah.
there's a difference. Now I ain't talking about
And-
kids being
Oh,
abused.
we got
We
whoopings.
don't
That's
have
something
that.
totally
You
different.
got whippings when you were
Yeah,
a teenager?
I got whoopings.
I honestly think those days are gone. I think we've lost our kids. Be honest. When we stop allowing the parents to discipline their kids, when the state took over, telling you, now the state will tell you what you can't do to
definitely.
your kids, but the cops have
They tell you how
They
free
to
reign to do
Free reign to do
anything with
whatever.
my child.
so
That's
that's
how
why
you-
I
Like the
said,
cops, the state got more rights than I do.
yes.
Yes, and then
And I've dealt with the state before on that level when it came to spanking, and
what they tell
they
you.
called me. No, that's what I told them. I said, look, I'm
like
helping
your
to
daddy.
raise these kids. I said, so I'm going to do whatever it takes to keep them out of trouble.
To
So,
keep them from you.
To keep them from
Right.
being in the system. I said, so this is why I did this. So if you got a problem with that, I'm sorry. I said, that's how my family culture is. That's how we are. And we're going to protect our family.
So how did they respond to that?
They said, okay, and dropped it. And dropped it.
So you think a lot of times it's just that we bow down to we don't challenge the system when it comes to that?
Man, I think a lot of times, yes. The state would never stop me from spanking my kid.
Me either.
I really
Well-
that's something I'm willing to go to jail
Yeah.
for because I'm like,
Me too.
Well,
my
here's the
child
fear.
is not going to be.
I mean, I don't think
Unruly,
the fear. I don't
period.
think the fear is really going to jail because I think people, you know what I'm saying. But I think the fear is having your children taken from you and being put in the system. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to get your children out the system. You don't think so?
You busting. Go ahead. What you got to say?
I know.
I was gonna just say that that's not my fear, personally.
Are you talking in the mic?
Right. It's not my fear because I believe in corporal punishment. I'm on the side where Daryl is when it comes to schools. Now I do believe there need to be checkpoints along the way. Whereas maybe the first time they do something, the first response is to call a parent, find out if the parent is okay with this, and if the parent is okay, then we can move if there's another.
That's what I was saying. Like, get permission if parents say, hey, I want to sign up for that.
Right. Now,
Then-
as far as the slavery thing, there's a difference between punishment and for your benefit and beating the hell out of you because you made a common mistake.
Yeah, because you waste some
Slavery.
Kool-Aid or something.
Right, because you waste Kool-Aid. There's a difference in that. And I don't think we should put those.
But how do you know that the line is not going to be crossed by somebody else?
Now, that's why you need to, if they tell you, come up here to this school and talk to your teacher, you can talk to someone and find out if you trust them disciplining your child. And then I think different children need different types of discipline.
I agree.
You could have beat me. You could have beat the hell out of me. My mama tried it. You could have beat the hell out of me and it wouldn't have done anything for me. But when you told me I had to do these 500 sentences, or when you told me I had to do this particular punishment, now you got some effect out of me. So it was a little bit different.
So it just depends on the child,
It
really.
depends on the child. That's why when y'all were talking about what age should you stop, depends on the child.
Yeah.
Because you have some children that when they hit, certain ages, they hit certain levels of maturity.
They'll
'Cause
fight back.
I believe it's when you can start talking to them and I can see results from our conversation. That's when I don't have to whoop you anymore. Because now I can see that you can take what I said and apply it to your daily life.
I just think you would save yourself a lot of heartache if you instill this stuff like really early
I agree.
to where when they first know, and kids know really early, like less than 1 years old, they understand where if I touch that, is something gonna happen or is nothing gonna happen? And I'm telling you that they will push the envelope as far as it'll go. And if you don't stop them, they'll just keep going to where you're on a documentary where your kids are slapping you upside the head and kick you in the shin in the store and climb. So you got to start that early. Too many parents are afraid of their kids. You can start that when they
And
really young, and
teachers
your
are
life
afraid
will
of
be
children.
so much more easier when.
But teachers are afraid of children too.
That's cause the parents are afraid of children. So if the child knows the parents are afraid or aren't going to do anything, then who is this teacher?
Yeah,
This teacher ain't nothing.
I agree, but I agree with all of it. I do believe in discipline. I believe in you pull out that belt if you need to. You do what you got to do, because I look at it more like saving your child than anything else. Because if I don't get you, the system gonna get you. So I do agree with all of that. I just feel like that's my job. I don't feel like that's the school's job.
Right.
Now, I do understand that children make choices and do things that warrant certain punishments, but I feel like that's my job to punish them like that.
Yeah.
If you can't deal with them, then get them out your class, period.
But that's your child.
Wait
though.
a minute. But the flip side.
What do you mean?
They should not be able to deal with it.
But look, the flip
Right,
side.
but in the event, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
But in the event that does happen, then I don't feel like my child should be able to control the whole learning environment, because you got 30 other kids that's over here that's wanting to learn. Get them out of there. I'll deal with him.
Now, what if they have
Or
to be
her.
kicked out of class every day? Now they are missing valuable instruction time. Now they are failing. Now you got emails from parents
And
saying,
I
"Why is my child failing your class?"
Because he can't keep us behind in line long enough to be in my classroom. And this is the standard for my classroom. I don't think that the child has a free pass just to clown in class. No, I don't think that. Not at all. But I also don't feel like it's anybody else's responsibility to discipline my child.
But you're
Now, there are other people that I would put in place, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be real honest with you. At one point, my brother and I were not that close. And this is when my boys were a lot younger. And he disciplined, and I was like, you ain't earned that right. You don't spend no quality time. You don't invest nothing. If you can't show him no love, you can't show him no discipline.
I agree with that.
Period.
I do
You
agree
ain't
with
earned that right. Now, my sisters could discipline him.
I get
My daddy could discipline him. But I told my brother, don't put your hands back on my son. If you can't put in time with him, you can't sit and have an intellectual conversation with him, you can't take time out of your day to invest. You see something is going on with him, you're not trying to figure out what that is and build a relationship, don't discipline him. You ain't earned it. You ain't put in the time. Now, but there were other people in the church who did put in that time with my boys. They did have the right.
I get that. But to me, it's a line you can cross with anybody who, like, but my point is, if you're my child, you're already gonna know this from the time you can say "dada," what right from wrong is.
Oh, I'm gonna beat your butt
So
myself.
you ain't gonna have those type issues. I mean, I got a call today from a family member saying, "Hey, you need to come and take care of this dude." Like, it's a relative that I'm gonna have to get. I'm gonna
They
have to
need
get a
some
plane.
assistance.
I'm about to get on a plane, like
They
for
need
real,
some
like real
assistance.
soon, and go handle this. So, and it ain't no rules. Like that's just
If
our
I had to
family.
spend money and get on the
If
plane and take out time,
and
I'm
his
beating
mama
that butt.
know me, so she's like, "Hey, it's to where
I'm
you
calling
need to
him.
handle.
Yeah.
Hey, come handle this dude." I'm like, "Okay, I'll
Yeah.
handle it."
So what you're saying though is that you have to have the trust that they're disciplining with love, or they care about
Exactly.
they care about the kid.
Exactly.
Before you put your hands on my kid, I have to trust
Exactly.
that you care
That makes
about my
sense.
kid.
You doing that out of love, not
That
out of
makes sense.
resentment,
Correct.
not because
That makes
not
sense.
because he a badass little black boy. None of that. None of that. You can't. It's too many kids, in my opinion, that we dismiss without trying to figure out where this behavior is coming from, because
Right.
it's coming from somewhere.
My sister
But
says it
here's
all the
the
time.
thing.
It's coming
She
from
says it's
somewhere.
a
I
preference.
agree with you, but at the same time, I'm just like, man, can the teacher just teach? Like, that's what they're
Well, can the
to-
parent just parent?
right?
That's where
like,
it starts.
Like, for real, because you know how much time and effort it takes to discipline somebody else's child
And that's my point.
You
You,
know what I'm
just
saying?
teach. I got this.
But most parents don't have that. That's the problem. I would hate to do what teachers do because I wouldn't have the patience to deal with some of these kids being as disrespectful.
I mean, it
as
comes
they
with the
are.
job. It comes with the job, but some are just takes more time and more. You know, what I'm saying?
I literally
More
think the
cultivating
fact
than
that
others.
a lot of men are just not in the homes anymore. I think it's a
That is the
it
bottom
is
line.
a really big. I don't think that's the only problem, but I think that is the huge problem because a man in the home changes a lot of
it
that.
changes everything.
Just, I mean, it's.
I could tell you myself, I see the difference in the culture in my house and my children for when their dad was in the house and when they wasn't, when he's not.
Yeah,
Even the things that they challenged me on, you would never do that if he was here. You would never do that if he was here. And I know it's real.
yeah.
But at the
And
same
kids-
time,
the
I'm a
kids
little
know.
I'm a little tougher too, because I tell them, if you can't respect me, and if we ever get to a point where I feel a certain kind of way, you can't be here. If you grown enough to challenge me and I'm paying the bills, I love you with everything in me, but you can't stay here. And I'm not saying that that's the right thing.
That's part of discipline.
I'm not saying it's the right
Hey, you
thing,
gotta go. That's discipline.
but I do think that they have to learn to appreciate the parents and from a different angle.
I say this right
I
now.
agree with that. I mean, because I kind of feel like that too. Like, you're not finna stress me out.
Not here.
Yeah.
Now that I got to take care of you.
Right. Like,
I got to pay all the bills.
I gotta.
I
feed
got
you.
to buy the clothes. Not the clothes. I got to buy the food. I do most of the cooking because that's just what I do. And but you ain't got to respect. Oh, no, not here. Because if you that grown, then you need to be on your own. Because here, we have rules. And I'm going to love you, and you can come visit. It ain't to the point where I can't stand you, you can't come over. You just too grown to live here. But as long as you can respect me and my rules and abide by this, we fine. We good. We good. Now, I know everybody don't roll like that, but that's how I roll.
I mean, it's just a touchy topic. It's a touchy situation because, you know, I'm just trying to speak from a different perspective. If I was speaking from a perspective of a parent, then I probably would not agree with that either because, you know, parents typically think that I mean, you have some parents that be like, yeah, I know he did it or she did it. But then you have some parents that believe that their child ain't do nothing.
Well, I don't believe like
won't-
that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that
And-
mentality is really changed.
But that's
That's
why
the
I say-
problem.
'Cause
That
it was
mentality
always-
is the
Right.
issue.
Whether you was wrong
Right.
or right, it was always, yeah, you did it.
If the teacher called my house,
We got a problem.
Right.
I told my daddy the teacher lied on me. He said, well, every time the teacher lie on you, I'm going to whoop your ass.
That's right.
So I'm like,
That
I
teacher
mean, what's
better
my
not lie
option?
on
I don't
you.
have no option.
You
I
don't
just
have
gotta,
any.
I just gotta stay clean. Like,
gotta
okay,
make sure
okay,
that
she
teacher
lied.
don't lie
Every
on you
time she
again.
lie,
Right.
you still getting it.
because you know as a teacher, if they get to the point where they're calling the parent, there's been multiple episodes. Am I right or wrong? So when I tell my kids, if the phone rings and it's the teacher complaining about your behavior, that's it. We already at corporal punishment because I know she gave you more than one chance.
Right.
And in most cases, yeah, you done got a lot of chances. You probably done went to the office, and it probably got so unbearable. It's like, look,
I've
let
told
me go ahead and call
kids,
his
step
Or her
kids,
mama.
nieces, nephews, basketball players. I said, if you go, I said 9 times out of 9.999% of the time, if you go into class and you be quiet and just do what you're supposed to do, you won't have any.
You're
You
not
won't have
gonna have
any
no
issues.
problems.
Just go and do what the teacher tells you.
Most
to
of the
do.
time, it's because
Be
you being
quiet.
a class
Step
clown,
one is be
or
quiet.
you challenging the teacher,
Just do whatever
or
you need to do.
you being
Don't talk back.
disrespectful.
That's
You
where I'm
earned
going
it.
with
Most of the time, the child earns it, and I understand that. I just feel like if they earn that whooping, I'm gonna be the one to give it to them.
I get you.
But I do understand that all parents don't do that, because a lot of parents, not my kid, not my, and what did you do, and all of that, all that extra stuff. I get that. I understand that. But I can only speak from my perspective. For me personally, no, I would not sign those papers. No, you cannot. But I will work with you with my child, and I do feel like your classroom is not just about my child. So if he is disrupting or she is disrupting your classroom to the point where you cannot effectively give these other children that are here to learn what they need, get them out of there. Get them out of there, period. You are not required to use up your day on my kid. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that the parents just gotta, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's a lost cause. I hate to say that.
You think what's a lost cause?
I think parents getting these kids back in line is a lost cause, a lost art.
I don't understand that. You're going to have to give more because I don't get
I'm
that.
prepared to give more.
Okay.
I don't think the trend is going
in the right direction.
I don't think the trend is
I agree.
We got to get these kids back in line, or we got to I think the trend is more of, like I've said, it's more of my kid is porcelain. Don't touch my kid. This is my kid. Instead of my kid is clay. My kid needs to be molded by me, by you, by her, by the teacher, by authority. I think people just assume their kids are clay. I mean, or porcelain, and they're fragile. They can't.
Did you just come up with that? Because that's pretty tight. I like
Yeah.
that.
Don't
Say,
boost
bro,
him.
I'm telling you.
Don't boost him.
I'm sitting on millions. Hey, B, I'm sitting on millions over here. But anyway, I'm telling you, it's like kids ain't clay no more. It's like,
I agree with that.
It's like they just can't be disciplined, and I ain't saying abused. I'm saying disciplined.
Discipline. I agree with that.
And society shows that. It's there.
But you do have some parents, like a single parent house is. It's just a whole different experience. It really is, because you're really trying to figure out how to balance two different roles when you were really made for one role.
I agree, yeah.
And if you're in a single parent house, sometimes you have a single parent house where there's a good support system, so you still have the balance. But if you're in a single parent house and you for real doing it by yourself, that's a different beast. And you can reach out to other people to try to get them, to let them know, I need some help here, and I'm kind of drowning here, and I need your. But that doesn't mean that those individuals necessarily connect with that child. And I get that too. But at the same time, you doing everything that you know how to do, and you drowning. So I do feel like there are cases where, when you say that it's kind of a lost cause, I really do see where you're coming from. But the children are not the lost cause. It's the parents.
I know.
So we can't.
I ain't giving up on the kids. When I'm dealing with kids, I'm doing my part.
But we can't take that out on the children, because the parents are the ones that need to get their behinds in line and stand up and parent.
But the children are suffering though. You know what I'm saying?
They
At
are.
the end of the day, regardless of if it's the parent or the teacher, like the child is suffering. And so we have to fix that. And I do think that one of the drawbacks is when you have a parent that's talking bad about the school system or their teacher or or whoever, you know what I'm saying, in front of the child, because it's showing that there is no what's the word I'm looking for, like no camaraderie, I guess, between a parent and a teacher, or the parent and the
they know that,
and that you're on the side of the child, and so the child usually use that to their advantage.
That's when it happens mostly. I think
they do that with parents, with two parents.
Yeah, they do. So, but parents parents know that, but they just, and
they still fall for it.
I'm guilty of it too. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, what? That teacher said what? But we have to make sure we pull ourselves back and not badmouth
and get to the bottom of what's really going on
about the parent. Like, even if we disagree with the teacher, we need to have that conversation with the teacher, not with the child.
Lisa
says,
I believe it should be a partnership between the parent and the teacher.
Exactly. It is. It's supposed to be.
I take that it takes a village mentality. So I think my kids know they must have respect. Yeah, you teach that early. And I just say a lot of parents could have an easy life if they just go ahead and get that discipline and stuff straight early, instead of now they're 10 years old and you ain't never disciplined them, and now now you don't know what to do. Now you got to call. You're scared to go to sleep, or you got to.
Ain't no way in the world.
But
It's
I do believe that has something to do with American society because I don't believe that is how our people traditionally have been. I think that some of the
I
thought
agree.
processes of we don't want corporal discipline. Okay, we done seen you in the supermarket with your kid, and he acting an ass. And now you gonna tell me that it's wrong.
And you trying to reason with
and
him.
you trying to tell me that I'm wrong for how mine is, and they sitting here being quiet. But we've allowed them to convince us
That this is how we do
this is
things.
Wait a
how it's
minute.
supposed to be done.
Who is them?
other cultures.
Okay, so
I say other cultures.
Other cultures. I'm sorry.
okay, but
there's
no,
more than just-
But no, check this out because
It's us now too.
I think you had said that we can't raise our children like we raise white children because they're privileged. So if you look at how, and we're just gonna deal with black and white, okay? Because that's where we're at right now.
Right.
Yeah, and it's easy and it's understandable. So if you look at how, like you said, you gave an example of white children doing whatever it is that they want to do, and we consider it to be an acting out, and we make our children be disciplined and be quiet and know how to act or know how to act in public. Well, if you look at that when they get older, it's more so like the white child oftentimes feel more superior, period, because they were allowed all this freedom to do whatever, to whereas the black child always feels restricted, even as an adult. They feel restricted. And I personally will take that back to a type of slave mentality. Like if you're walking along the sidewalk, the black person usually has to step to the side, let the white person
And
by.
who talking about that? Ain't nobody teaching
But-
their child to just step to the
But
side
it's-
for no white.
But what I'm saying,
We're
it's
talking
like,
about respect for
but it's-
authority and
I
no.
know that, but it's still ingrained in the child.
That's BS.
Even though,
I was-
yes, it is.
No, it's not.
think when
Because
we're
I
talking
know a
about is
billion
obedience,
people.
We're talking obedience, yes. I'm teaching my child to be obedient to me, and they.
And this is how you
But
conduct
we
yourself.
we frame it as those nice fancy words as being obedient and respectful and not acting a damn fool in public.
What's wrong with that?
I'm not saying that anything is wrong with it. I'm just looking at the difference between as when they get to be adults, how they act. This person
I don't
is
agree
more
with that.
superior. This person is
I
more
got
successful.
spankings and I
This
ain't-
I
person
know what
is-
she's saying.
I know what she's saying, too,
But what
but-
she's saying is, I get what you're saying. What
White
you're
privilege,
saying
right?
is we create a
submissive.
submissive mindset in the children,
That's yes.
That is not
and
true.
it does work when they are being submissive to their parents. But you're saying that they see these white children or other cultures
Yes.
acting out and wilding out and all of that kind of stuff, and they grow up thinking and doing what they want to do in life, whereas our children are
More restricted.
restricted,
reserved.
and they still don't get the same benefits.
They don't. Yeah, they don't transition.
I see what
that.
you're saying.
You know what I'm
I see
saying?
what you're saying. but
I
what
hear
was saying,
you.
though,
That's all.
I see what you're saying to an
I'm not
extent.
saying I agree, but I understand what
Oh,
she's
yeah, I
saying. I
understand what you're
understand the
saying.
logic behind
This
it.
is why Kaepernick is kneeling, because we pretty much know there are inequities when it comes to prison sentences, right? So my son has to be a lot more restricted, if you want to use that word, than the white dude over here. Well, that's a fact. He does. He can't go out here and act
That's
the same
right.
way with police officers.
That's
they
right.
act. Because he could end up dead. He could end up with a prison sentence a lot longer than what the white dude over here.
Exactly.
So yes, we probably do instill that with our children. I can agree
And
with
we
that.
do because during slave times, parents oftentimes talk. No, but I'm telling you, it's
All right,
still
go ahead.
it's still there. It's like a hereditary mark or something.
I don't
But no,
agree.
parents.
Black people grow up in pretty much black communities.
But
so we
yes.
also believe not just acting like this. You can't disrespect my mama, my grandmama, my this, my that. You got to teach them something. You can't just let them be wild out. I don't believe you can let them wild out like these white kids do.
I don't think that's what she's saying. That's
That
not what
is-
she's saying.
No, that is not what
I
I'm
think
saying.
she's
I'm
saying let 'em
it's
wild
more,
out.
No, she
I'm
not.
not.
You
I'm
trying
saying
to
it's-
start
saying
some
then?
fights.
I'm
No,
saying
that's
it's more. It seems like it's more of a protective mechanism because if your child is doing something, you don't want them to get in trouble with massa. You say, boy, don't talk back to massa. Or boy, you know what I'm saying? And that's that kind of like
No.
it's something that parents did to protect their children
my mom
because
and
but it's still a mentality that
Nah,
we grow
so
up
Lord,
with,
that
and we're
ain't-
still
no, it's
passing
not.
it down
My
to
mom
our
and
children.
my mom and daddy told me like you walk in the, you know how to conduct yourself in the store. My mom was like, no, get off of that, stop grabbing that. But in the same sentence, don't you let nobody disrespect you. You know, if somebody,
That's how my parents raised
so
me.
it wasn't no.
I was
I wasn't
disciplined,
thinking
but
no
also
slave, but my mama say when we go in this store, this is what it is.
you know how to act.
You're
think
not gonna
it's-
be climbing the shelves. You're not gonna be just throwing stuff. That's respect and that's discipline.
I understand what that
Ain't
is.
nobody saying bow down to white folks, and when they come down the sidewalk,
just
you go. I
think
never heard. I
that
never
is
even
done
thought that.
unconsciously. That's what I think.
You mean
I think that the
subconscious.
mentality is just, it's like an unconscious act. You don't know that you're actually responding this way.
I
but
don't
you
agree
are.
because it ain't never crossed my mind.
And I'm not
most
saying-
people that I know who were disciplined, they didn't grow up with no just
Submissive mindset.
yeah, like shuffling for massa. Nobody, I didn't even. I never even heard that connection. But I've heard you say it before.
And I believe the most successful people
But
are
we
the
can't
most
just-
disciplined people. They
I
are the ones
agree.
that act with most restraint.
But see, we'll say that and then we'll tell our kids go to the military. Now what? That you have just been controlled like from sun up to sundown when it comes to discipline. But you saying when they're growing up, no, they should be allowed to just wild out and do what they want to do.
I'm not saying that we should let our children wild. That's not even in our nature as a culture to allow our children to act up in public. Okay? I'm not saying that. But I am saying that maybe we need to think about how we do restrict our children so that they won't feel
don't restrict
inferior to
You
any
don't
other
restrict your
races.
child when they're in a learning environment. Hey, I want you to create. I want you to think outside the box. That's the only kind of freedom I'm talking about because there are rules to everywhere else. But I wouldn't restrict their thinking, but I'm going to restrict how they act. That's just a part of life. You can't act. It's a certain way to act in every situation. Your child needs to know that. They can't. I don't think it's a benefit to a parent letting a child just run wild, and that's
And
crazy to me.
I'm not
Because a
arguing
child
that
doesn't
it's a
know.
benefit.
I'm saying because a child doesn't know where the line is.
I agree.
Because they
I
don't
agree.
know. Like I've said several times on the show, probably. How does a child know if your child doesn't know, stay in the bed means stay in the bed? How are they going to know not to run in the street if you say don't run in the street? So you got to teach them the lines not
children,
to cross.
yes,
They should
children
whatever you
need
tell them should be
structure.
the line. It can't be.
And it's almost like until children get of a certain age, they need to have a fear of mama and daddy and authority to enforce whatever discipline needs to be enforced. They need to have a fear of that. They do, because that fear is what keeps you in line. It does. So, okay, I may not like this teacher, but I'm scared of what my mama or what my daddy gonna do when I get home. So I need to make sure I don't give this teacher no reason to call my mama or daddy. But there are so many children that don't have the boundaries because we do believe in being free spirited and let them roam and do whatever, and that doing whatever could cost them their life.
Mm-hmm.
That doing whatever could cost them their freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So
and
their
that's what-
education.
That's what we as a culture is concerned about, and that's why we I don't want to say restrict, but that's why we place those type of demands on our children because we're afraid of those three things that you just said.
When you say place those demands, what do you mean?
I mean, I'm not saying let them wild out. That is not my
Well,
argument.
you got to say something
That is
because
not my
you got
argument,
to.
But we don't allow
make
them
an
to be
argument.
as free. You know,
In
because
what
children,
situation?
Because children play. You know what I'm saying? Children
Yes.
explore.
But they need to have boundaries.
And I'm not saying that they don't. I'm not arguing that. I'm just trying to argue the difference in the parenting and how a lot of children, and I'm not saying all black children, but a lot of children grow up and still feel that inferiority complex when it comes to their white counterparts.
But I'm saying, where did the
period.
inferiority come in from? From learning
But
discipline?
see, I don't think that
It's
that's
not
necessarily a
from
black-white
learning
thing.
discipline.
I just think it's a discipline, not an undisciplined thing. I wouldn't equate that to white kids get to do this and black kids don't. I look at it as a parent, there are certain guidelines that I have for my child. When we go somewhere, you ain't got no business running around and doing this and doing that. No, that is not what we do. That is inappropriate
But
behavior.
you're speaking from a cultural perspective, and I understand that. I feel like that too. I'm from that same, cultural background. But look, when I find the information, I will send it to both of you.
What information?
The information that I'm talking about.
Where you gonna get it from?
Don't worry about it.
I believe what she's
I-
saying about
I don't ca-
because they know they can't.
That's exactly what it is.
But it
It's-
don't-
It's just straight up
No,
white
my
privilege.
point is,
I just think that those are two different
I mean, this is-
conversations.
I mean,
But
it
she can-
is.
I'm just saying, but I understand what she's
I
I
get
do too.
white privilege is very real. I just think it's two
but she
different
can send,
conversations.
she can send any information she wants. It doesn't mean that I choose to, but somebody had to write it. So I'm gonna
You
write
know
something.
what?
I can write something too.
You gonna stop?
No, I'm saying I don't mean
know.
just you. So
I feel what you're saying, but you
somebody
That
writes,
don't make it right. Just 'cause
somebody writes
wrote
something.
it.
Right.
So what? You wrote it. Now I can write something. I can write the total opposite. Now
You-
what?
I mean, and what I'm saying is a little bit off the topic, a little bit. I'm just, but
I think it all depends on how you want to lean. So in other words,
I believe in white privilege.
If
I
you-
just think
if-
it's a different topic.
if you're a person who in your heart or whatever doesn't believe in corporal punishment, you're gonna choose to listen to
You're gonna
all the
defend that.
facts and the people who wrote that corporal punishment is bad. If I'm a person that believes in, you need to discipline these kids and ain't nothing wrong with a spanking, I ain't talking about abuse, you're gonna lean toward these books and these people. So
To support your
to
argument.
support your argument.
Work for them.
right,
You
it's
said
always,
what?
Most
It's always
people
been
don't
like
lean
that.
towards their personal history because corporal
Right.
punishment made me a better person. I heard Daryl say it.
Right.
I believe the exact same thing. But my daughter may not believe it because she really never needed it. My son
Yeah,
did.
right.
So she
Right.
may grow up thinking corporal punishment is not necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you had that wrong kid. See how that turned out for you.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I can tell you if it wasn't for corporal punishment, I would have been in jail. Yeah, I'm telling you, or my dad out of the home, or it wasn't no corporal punishment. That was the environment I was in. I'm telling you, I was going to jail eventually,
Yeah.
just because that was
Yeah.
my neighborhood. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's necessary. I think each situation is different. You can't just say blanket no or blanket yes.
let me
I'm
read.
I'm somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I didn't whoop
That's
my
my
daughter till she was
stance.
about 15 years old. She didn't need it when she was young. But then she did.
Let me read. I think this response was to a comment that you made, Lotus. They said she only trusts the teacher to express wording and not the development of a system given by the teachers to promote better environments to produce and higher learning. So I think, I
What
don't
is that?
know,
Break that down a little bit.
they're going to have to break it down. But
Read it one more time.
from my interpretation, okay, it says she only trusts the teacher to express wording and not the development of a system given by teachers to promote a better environment to produce higher learning. And so I think this was in response to not disagreeing with corporal punishment, and you and other people feel like this too, like don't nobody spank my child.
But I
And
didn't
so-
put my opinion on my post at all because I
No,
never do.
No, I know you didn't. I'm talking about
Yeah.
just for what
Just
you
right now, this
said
conversation.
on
Yeah.
the show. Yeah. So, but I think it's just that parents, a lot of parents feel like you, and a lot of parents want to be told or phone called or notified of the behavior of their child, and don't take it into your hands to spank my child, but to let me know about it. And I think you said I'll come up there and spank my child. Or maybe I read a post where somebody had said that. But you more so want them to focus on what they're there to do, which is to teach, right? Or
I
to
mean,
produce
I've
higher
I've
learning.
been that parent to come and whoop they tail at the school, so I am not anti-discipline at
I've
all.
been that parent too.
I just feel like that's my job.
Got it.
What?
Gotcha.
Surprised to hear you say that.
All right, y'all. It is
That I've
3
done
minutes to 10, so
Wow.
we're gonna wrap it on up. So let's do our final remarks. What you got, Solar?
My argument, or I guess my last remark is, I really think people who, I think parents, the community, really need to start volunteering at the school. I think I've said this before, and really see what the school environment is like. Like, really get involved, build a relationship with the teachers, because just like teachers have to build a relationship with the parents, that goes both ways.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Because teachers email, teachers make phone calls. Just in the teaching field, you're taught to not always call the parent with bad news. And if you do, you always got to start off with something good first, and then, ease the bad in there. So there is a protocol, to this. But it goes both ways. Parents definitely need to be involved. Studies show that when parents are involved in their child's education, that behavior and academics improves greatly. So my last remarks is parents, uncles, grannies, whoever is available, because I understand parents have jobs, more than one, and they have to work and they work crazy hours, but whoever is available to be an advocate or support for the child, come and volunteer to monitor the hall or make some copies or read a book, or you know what I'm saying?
That's some
Something
good
like
advice.
that. Like, get involved, because it's imperative. Like, the school needs you, the community needs you, teachers need you.
Yes, I
What
agree.
you got, Jay?
For me, it just starts with the parents and early in the child's life to avoid a lot of this stuff. You got to start like early. Like no, no means no. It ain't no negotiating with your child. Your child can still be a genius, a scientist, an engineer, even though they were disciplined growing up. As far as the school corporal punishment, personally, I don't have a problem with it. I will actually bring the paddle and say, here's the paddle I want you to use on my child. And you ain't really got to call me, because they already know how to act, how to conduct themselves. So if you got to say something to them, that means they
They already
doing something.
crossed it.
Yeah, like, I'm busy. You ain't got to call me. Here's the paddle. Let me know how it went, and then I'll deal with it, my way when they get home. So that's kind of parent I am. And I think we need more with that mentality. Maybe not to the degree that I'm saying, but we need more parents with that mentality instead of the nobody can say anything. I'm just saying corporal punishment is okay. You may be saying it's not, but I still want you to discipline my child, which is cool. I just don't believe in any extreme. Never, 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 or always, always. You just, I think each situation is different, and
Gotta
you
find
do
a
whatever
balance.
do whatever you got to do.
You want to do a final?
I'm gonna share a story, a real quick story. When my son was acting up in school, he was about in the 5th grade. I mean, just constant calls from the teacher. Seems like nothing was working. Punishment, punishment, punishment. And a little lady talked to me. I worked at the bank at the time. She talked to me, and she could tell I was upset. And she told me, she said, "Son, I want you to go home and you wear his butt out, because you gonna do it with love. If you wait, eventually the criminal justice system will do it for you, and they won't have any love involved." I took that to heart, and I went home and I beat the hell out of him. And since that day, I guarantee you,
Ain't no more hell in them.
hey, I beat it. Ain't no more hell in it.
He beat the hell out of
Ain't no more
him.
hell in it. So I want to thank that lady. I can't tell you what her name was right now, but I mean, I really believe that. Sometimes you have to go to those extremes, because
I mean,
don't want
there's
the
a
criminal justice system
borderline
to go
between that and abuse, but you gotta put some on the butt every now and then if you have to. You may not have to.
Well, my final thoughts are I am an advocate for discipline, most definitely. And I am an advocate for the village. I just believe that that village needs to be handpicked. And then once I invite these individuals into my village, you got free reign with my children. You can chastise them just like I told you. When you was before the show started with Zion, I'm like, when I'm not around, you assume that responsibility as mama, and you have a right to, with Naya, Zion, or whoever it is. But I think that we have to do a better job at getting to know those individuals that we allow that kind of access to our child. Because I am somebody who believes very strongly in energy and spirituality and all of that, and I don't want to ever find out down the road. For example, there are a lot of mothers who regret not being more aware when it comes to their children, their sons and their daughters being abused, because they just trusted their child to any and everybody. Sexual abuse, physical abuse, because they just trusted the individual had their best interests at heart because they were in the school or they were in the church. That don't mean just because you work at a school or you are a pastor or a priest or something at a church that you don't have some demons of your own that can impact my child's future for life. So because of that, I do think that we have to be proactive in being a part of every aspect of our child's life. And when you do that, then you can pick up on the spirit of the individual that you are trusting to give that kind of authority to. So I'm not anti and I'm not pro. I just feel like we need to be better involved. And I also feel like the lost cause is the parents. And we as parents need to get on our stuff because our children are the ones that's suffering. And they're the ones that are in situations, and they're creating them a lot on their own, but that's because of the lack of parenting that we're doing at home, because we too busy, we too wrapped up in our own lives and our own circumstances, that we're not doing our jobs as parents in actually parenting. Because I do feel like if you place that fear of mama or daddy in your children, they ain't gonna have to see a lot of the law. That may be me being naive, but that's just how I feel. I feel like if you keep them close to you and you are involved as much as you possibly can, you can save them from a lot. So that's my thoughts. That's our time tonight on the Black and the Berry. Thanks for hanging out with us. We will see y'all next week. Please come out tomorrow to Brick House for our a man's point of view, woman's point of view conversation. It's a lot of fun. Very, very intellectual conversation from 8 until 10. And then this Thursday, we have our first Let's Break Bread meetup at Sankofa Lounge in Dallas. 3333 Camp Wisdom. Is it Camp Wisdom? So make sure y'all come hang out with us and respond on our social media if you want to go. That's our time tonight. 7 o'clock. All right. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.